to secure your tax property at carsforkidsrealestate.org. That's cars with a K.
The Chris and Amy Show, sponsored by Summer at SLU. Find your kids' best summer yet at St. Louis University.
It's the Chris and Amy Show. Check it out.
St. Louis, Mound City, we are going to have a great day today.
Now, Amy Mark scores Chris Ranji on KMOX.
Let's take it from the top.
Amy? Hello? Amy?
Not here.
Oh, where is she?
Not here.
Hold on a second. I see John Hancock.
Here.
Hi, John Hancock.
Hello, Ron.
I'm Chris Ranji. Stop me for, hold on a second.
All right.
Are you telling me
Yeah.
that Amy is on vacation again?
It would appear to be the case.
How is that possible?
Well, she negotiated her new 12-year deal.
Dude.
Worth $400 million.
Million. I need her to negotiate mine, I guess.
Yeah, no kidding.
I have been looking for a job for, let's see, 25 years.
Yeah.
Where I get 50 weeks vacation. And so it sounds like Amy's done it. We have the same job,
Yeah.
but I don't get the same vacation.
Well,
Unbelievable.
you should run for the legislature. You could probably work that out.
And then
Just show up a couple weeks
and then threaten to shut down the government.
there you go.
Boy, wouldn't that be the power to
Oh,
have?
Wow.
Hey,
Incredible.
what if we could shut the station down unless our demands are met?
Well, we could do that.
We probably could. That is
There,
John
my little
Hancock.
picket sign out there.
I'm Chris Ranji. 314-436-7900. You probably recognize that phone number because that's how you call and text us. If you want to leave a voicemail, we have another number, 314-944-1120. We're broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube. Hello. You won't get to see John's face, but you can see mine
It's a good thing.
and Dave's. What else? Oh, Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and listen to us live, and also 98.7 FM, 1120 AM. Social media at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everybody will be talking about.
Our 300th debate of the GOP primary occurred last night, this time with Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley on stage together. Who won that one? Were there winners at all? We will talk about that coming up.
And some Republicans in the Missouri General Assembly want to repeal the state's death penalty.
And after 24 years, Bill Belichick is no longer the coach of the New England Patriots. Wow. And not to mention, a lot of coaching things happened. Nick Saban retired.
Gone.
Pete Carroll was fired.
Gone.
All of that happening within less than 24 hours. And we've got Matt Pauley coming up, host of Sports Open Line. We will talk to him. Major Garrett's chief Washington correspondent for CBS News joins us after the 10:30 news.
Man.
And we talked a little bit about, not a little bit, I think a decent amount about the story of a company from Washington, D.C. with their intention to send surveillance drones to Gravois Park, South City area, neighborhood, and doing it without the consent of the people who live there. And the effort was to, I don't know, I guess, help reduce crime in some manner. The residents, of course, as you can imagine, were not happy about it. Well, we find out that they've been operating there anyway, at least according to the company. So we are going to talk to Sarah Crosley, who is a resident of Gravois Park. That's coming up on the show later on. John Hancock, last night, it happened again, yet another debate, this time between Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis.
Biden won that election, and the idea that he's gone and carried this out forever to the point that he's going to continue to say these things to scare the American people are wrong.
I appreciated what President Trump did, but let's just be honest. He said he was going to build a wall and have Mexico pay for it. He did not deliver that. He said he was going to drain the swamp. He did not deliver that.
That is DeSantis and Haley, each talking about former President Donald Trump. And the question going into the debate last night was, how much attention are they going to pay to him? I would say, John, just from paying attention to it, that they spent very little time talking about the front runner, and a lot of time going after each other.
Yeah, I was compelled to watch the thing last night because Michael and I had to do commentary on Fox 2, so I sat through it all. And the strategy of this thing was so wrong. Do you play Monopoly?
I mean, I did.
Okay,
I
so
don't have the patience for 4 hours of
you
Monopoly.
understand the game.
Yeah.
It's a complicated game.
Yeah.
And the object is to put everybody else out of business except for you. Well, if this campaign was a game of Monopoly, Donald Trump is holding right now Boardwalk and Park Place, which are the two best things to possess.
I do know that much.
Monopoly game. And what Haley and DeSantis did last night was, rather than teaming up and going after the guy that's got Boardwalk and Park Place, they were fighting each other over Baltic Avenue, the least expensive corner on the Monopoly board. And it was just, from a strategic standpoint, it was fundamentally wrong for them to do that. Had I been running either of those campaigns, and you're going into a debate right before the Iowa caucus, and it's just going to be the two of you on stage for the first time throughout the course of this whole campaign, I would have gotten on the phone with the other campaign manager and said, look, we've got a 1 in 100 chance of one of us becoming the nominee at this point. We got nothing to lose. We need to spend that time, both of us, making the case why Republicans need to nominate someone other than Donald Trump. And had they done that, it probably wouldn't have mattered, but it would have been a far better strategy than going in and fighting over, which one's going to lose by less, which essentially is what that became last night.
So it makes you wonder, and this is the question we've been asking for a long time. What is each individual's ultimate end game? Is it to stay in the good graces of Trump and his voters enough that he might decide one of them should be his running mate?
No.
Then what is it?
The only thing it could be, just looking at it inductively, the only thing it could be is that they're hoping, and have been hoping now for these many months, that something catastrophic is going to happen to Donald Trump. He's going to die. He's going to get, carted off to prison before, the votes come in. That can be the only rationale for conducting their campaigns the way they have. A campaign is about explaining to the voter why you are a better choice than the alternative. And if the alternative choice is winning by a lot, as is the case in the Republican primary season with Donald Trump, you've got to make the case persuasively that you're a better alternative than Donald Trump. And neither Haley nor DeSantis at any point in this campaign has done that.
This is for me, I'm not really sure, because I do think there are a lot of people who would really like a good alternative to him. The polling, for whatever reason, doesn't suggest that. Is it that they don't really want an alternative to him, that people don't really want to move on to somebody else, or they just don't like what the other options are in the Republican Party?
I think there's 35% of the Republican electorate that is done with Trump. And it's not enough. Right?
And probably one other third is all in on him no matter what.
Oh, more than a third.
You think it's close to what, 40?
Yeah, I think it's north of 40. And there's some of the, he's north of 50 in a lot of these polls. And I don't think all of that 50% are true believers in, Donald Trump or bust kind of people, but a good healthy chunk. And, the Republican electorate has changed in the era of Trump. You go back a decade ago, 62% of Republican primary voters were college educated or more. And now it's closer to 60% of the Republican electorate has a high school degree or less. And that's just a change in the makeup of who votes in Republican primaries. Donald Trump brought a lot of people into the party that were never there before. It's one of the reasons he defeated Hillary Clinton in 2016, because of those new people, those new voters he brought in. But, anybody that's under the illusion that the Republican Party is a movement conservative party anymore it's just not where the voters are.
It's really fascinating to see that change. And as we've talked about on this show a lot, anytime you filled in, anytime we've had discussions on Friday, you and Amy both say this, that the party has moved away from you, that you haven't changed. Amy hasn't changed.
Yeah. And
it's the party. And the people who will say things like, oh, these guys aren't Republicans. Like, really? Mr. Hancock works for Republicans. I don't know how you can say that you're not when you clearly are. And I think it's just illustrative of how far the party has gone away from what it used to be.
Well, and political parties constantly change. They're constantly evolving. And, the Republican Party that elected Richard Nixon was a fundamentally different party than that which elected Ronald Reagan. Different kinds of voters. Back in Nixon's days, you had, the Henry Cabot Lodges and some very liberal Republicans out there. I mean, truly liberal Republican, Lowell Weicker. And those people no longer exist. And Reagan basically transformed the party into a doctrinally sound conservative movement party. And it remained that way for many years. It's a much more populist, nationalistic party now. And Donald Trump really brought that change. That element had always been there, but it's the majority of the party now.
Will it ever go back that way at all?
Well, it'll go somewhere. Things don't stay static. And as long as if we're a country in 50 years, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party will be different in 50 years than they are right now. But, it's going to be like this for the foreseeable future, I think.
You say that, if we're a country in 50 years, and it's half joking, but there is real concern on the part for, I think a lot of people who think that, and we've heard this over and over again, this refrain that democracy is at stake in this next election, and it's very important. Do you believe that? Do you believe that it is in such a place, that we are in such a place, that if we don't vote for a particular person, that we could lose democracy altogether?
No, I don't believe we're going to lose democracy altogether. But I also think John Adams was right when he said a woman came up to him and asked him about the country. They had just ratified the Constitution. And he says, we give you a republic if you can keep it.
Yep.
And that, I think we're there. I mean, America is quite possibly is going to look a lot different in 20 years than it does now. But will we lose our democracy? No, I don't think so.
John Hancock filling in for Amy Marxkors today. I'm Chris Ranji. Chris Christie dropped out of the race yesterday. I think we all knew it was coming at some point. I didn't think it would come this quickly. We're going to get into what that means when we come back on KMOX.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at ThrottleNet. So I'm so very proud to have represented the guys at ThrottleNet for all of these years. They are the IT geniuses. George and Mike are the owners. Fantastic guys. They can do all of your IT. They can do a portion of your IT. They have the best Apple support team. Their response time is under 2 minutes. Think about that, under 2 minutes. Something goes sideways with your IT, and they are solving your problem. And they're solving your problem within 2 minutes. Now, let's talk about cybersecurity. Most companies in St. Louis don't have cyber liability insurance. You get hit, you're on the hook, you're probably out of business. With ThrottleNet, if we represent you, we protect you. The first $500,000 that someone hits you for, which isn't going to happen, but if it does, we pay it. $500,000. That's what you're covered for with ThrottleNet. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS for all the information.
Do you worry about running out of money in retirement? Discover how you can make your money last as long as you do with your retirement professors. Saturday afternoon at 1 on St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Hey, folks, it's Charlie Brennan. You know, this year we noticed some missing mortar and loose stone around our front stone porch. You got it. We called Morelli Tuck Pointing. The Morelli team spot pointed the inside and outside of our stone porch. They used a waterproof mortar, which really matches well. Then the crew removed the old caulk where the porch meets the front brick wall. They then sealed this area and the rest of the deck using a polyurethane caulk and a sand finish. Our front stone porch is now in great shape, and it's never looked more beautiful. Do you live in a stone or brick home in need of repair? Call Morelli, the company that has won the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. Morelli, the masonry specialists at 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com, and consult their reviews on the Google, Angie's List, and Better Business Bureau websites.
Let's ring in the new year by checking off an important to-do. Your old videotapes and photos are fading as each year passes. VCRs are becoming extinct, and the clock is ticking to save your family's most cherished memories. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box to help you preserve your captured moments by converting all your videotapes, photos, and even film reels into perfectly preserved digital files.
Legacy Box is the easiest resolution to do and can be done in minutes. Just fill your Legacy Box, send it in, and we'll send it back with your memories perfectly preserved.
Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box.
Let's kick off the new year right by rescuing your memories that haven't been watched or enjoyed in years.
Order your Legacy Box today.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off. legacybox.com/value.
Work or play, KMOX is right there with you. We go where you go.
I want to promise you this. I am going to make sure that in no way do I enable Donald Trump to ever be president of the United States again. And that's more important than my own personal ambition.
Chris Christie, who was in the GOP running up until yesterday when he dropped out of the race, then spoke for about 20, 25 minutes to a crowd as we get ready for the Iowa caucuses 4 days away. So I don't think that any of us were under the illusion that he had any chance of winning. Right. I know that he did not think he had any chance of winning. He certainly wasn't lobbying for a job in the Trump administration, if there is another one. So I know that you watched that speech yesterday, and I've been listening to him speak, and I have thought that he and Nikki Haley both, throughout the last several months, during every debate, sounded the most reasonable of all the people on the stage. And I knew that he had no chance, but I wonder if the message he's trying to get across is getting to the right people.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is. Chris Christie, or Nikki Haley for that matter, would easily win a general election against Joe Biden. Now, the reality is that Biden's political stock is so weak right now that he could lose to Donald Trump. And, you know, in Donald Trump, you've got a candidate here for whom some 60% of the country think is unfit to be the president. But politics, elections are binary choices. And in a race between Trump and Biden, is there a scenario where Donald Trump wins that race? Yeah, there is. I don't think he wins it, but there is a scenario under which he could. And so the argument that Trump is not ultimately electable has kind of softened for a lot of Republican voters. That was the fundamental argument that Christie was making. And then that he made the argument that Trump is unfit to be president. And I think he made a, compelling, persuasive case. But the problem is that's not where the Republican electorate is. They don't want to hear it. They don't believe it. And, Chris Christie's, his numbers were among Republican voters were abysmal. his favorable to unfavorable ratings. He was not just upside down. He was way upside down. And so there was never going to be a path for him to win the Republican nomination.
There was one poll, and I had it saved, but I have lost it. And it was all of the nominees, and Donald Trump, of course, is something like 20 or 30 points ahead of Nikki Haley, who came in second. And it was the entire field with Christie, and he had 2% of the vote. And then Nikki Haley had 20. You remove Christie from the equation, and her percentage went up to 22. So according to at least this one specific poll, she got all of his 2%.
Yeah.
Do you think there's really that much overlap between the voters, people who like him, like her?
Well, I mean, I think you're looking at it going back to the last segment. Yeah, there's 35% of the Republican electorate that do not want Donald Trump. And, those people are going to end up with Haley ultimately if she stays in the race. But you don't win anything with 35% of the vote. That's not a recipe for victory. So, I think there is a very slim chance that Nikki Haley could be the nominee. Very slim. She would have to overperform in Iowa. She would have to win in New Hampshire, and she'd have to win in South Carolina. Then you got a race on your hands.
Quickly, before we go to break, is there really could you envision a scenario that you could convince Republicans that, hey, listen, if Christie's the nominee, he'll beat Joe Biden, so won't you vote for him then? Would that not work with people?
Clearly not.
That's John Hancock in with me. I'm Chris Ranji. A lot to discuss with Major Garrett's chief Washington correspondent. Joins us next on KMOX.
Hey, it's Dave from the DGS, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. on KMOX. So let me talk about my cast. Rachel Zimmerman, super smart young millennial. Kevin Wheeler, loudest, most confident, opinionated man you're ever going to meet. He looks like a grade school bully with the red hair, burr haircut. Then we have Andrew. It's been 12 years with Andrew. I'm still not sure what he is. That's 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. every day on the DGS and KMOX.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
You couldn't pick a worse time to sell your home. Sure, your home is worth a small fortune right now, but are you really going to swap your 2 or 3% current interest rate and pay 7 or 8% interest on a new house? No way. You don't have to with the Get Paid and Stay program from Truehold. This is ingenious. With the Get Paid and Stay program, Truehold will buy your home now at its best current value. You bank the cash and stay in your home until interest rates come back down, or as long as you like. It's your call. Plus, you won't have to pay property taxes, insurance, or upkeep anymore. Truehold pays those expenses. Learn more about Truehold's Get Paid and Stay program. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com.
I see clearly now, thanks to the doctors, Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, Royer, and Barry. You can too. Go to youridoc.com.
I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. We're offering huge savings on 12 market homes at the Preserve in Afton with savings up to $80,000 and special McKelvey financing of 5.5% 30-year fixed or 4.5% in the first year with our 2-month buydown. Choose from our carefree villas with sale price at $486,000 to our luxurious designer series on wooded estate lots. Several are ready for immediate move-in. Hurry, these deals won't last. Visit McKelveyHomes.com.
At 10:30, we have sunny skies, 41 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. The Labor Department reported today the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits dropped last week to its lowest level in nearly 3 months. Mark Hamrick, senior economic analyst at Bankrate, gave his take on the jobless claims report.
Economists broadly expect hiring to continue to slow this year and for the unemployment rate to rise.
Also today, the Consumer Price Index showed that inflation edged up in December. Higher energy, housing, and food prices contributed to the increase in inflation. Relatives of civilians killed at a kibbutz in southern Israel during the October 7th attack by Hamas are demanding the military immediately investigate signs that some may have been killed by Israeli security forces as they battled militants holding hostages. The military has said it will conduct a thorough investigation of all events that day once the war is over. Families fear valuable evidence could be lost as the war, now in its fourth month, drags on with no end in sight. Post-pandemic burnout is at worrying levels among Christian clergy in the U.S. It's prompted many to think about abandoning their jobs. More than 4 in 10 clergy surveyed in the fall of 2023 had seriously considered leaving their congregations at least once since the pandemic began in 2020. About 1 in 10 clergy often thought of quitting. The forecast for today will have sun, then clouds this afternoon. It'll be chilly with a high of 46. Overcast tonight. Rain's going to arrive around midnight. We're going to have temperatures in the 40s, dipping into the 30s as we head through the day on Friday. Rain is going to change over to snow in the afternoon. We could see up to 3 inches, so we'll have to watch for slippery conditions and blizzard conditions as well as temperatures plunge to a low of 14 on Friday night. Currently, we have sunny skies, 41 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Hi, I'm PJ Vogt, here to tell you about my new podcast, Search Engine. On Search Engine, we tackle the kinds of questions that keep you up at night, like why are drug dealers putting fentanyl in everything? Should we be worried that Elon Musk believes that we're living in a simulation? And for the love of God, is it actually unsafe to drink the coffee on airplanes? On Search Engine, no question is too big and no question is too small. Listen and follow Search Engine with PJ Vogt and Odyssey Podcast. Available now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together, millions of things for our planet. Resolve to recycle more. Recycle paper, bottles, and cans directly, and recycle old clothes by donating them. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Broadcasting from the Underline Three Lawyers. GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you have to call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. It comes with a lifetime warranty, walk-in tubs, replacement showers, tub-to-shower conversions, and more. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Dive into all things Cardinals on Cardinals Conversations, your go-to location for exclusive content from KMOX. Catch it on the Odyssey app or your favorite podcast platform. Stay connected with your team. Cardinals Conversations, where the Redbird talk never stops.
John Hancock is in for Amy Mark's course. I'm Chris Ranji. This is KMOX. It's Thursday after the 10:30 news, which means it's time to talk with our guy, Major Garrett, Chief Washington Correspondent for CBS News, author of The Big Truth, Upholding Democracy in the Age of the Big Lie. Also 2 podcasts. The Takeout is one of them. The other one is called Agent of Betrayal, The Double Life of Robert Hansen. We've got Major Garrett with us now, and if you're at home trying to get one of your silly podcasts off the ground, this guy's like a 2-sport athlete. He's got 2 of them. He's got 2 good podcasts. The rest of us trying to put together one. Share the riches, bro.
Thank you for saying that. And it's the product of a lot of work, a lot of effort, and I encourage everyone to get into the podcast space. It's the water's warm. Jump on in. It's fun.
Well, we love having you, and the podcasts are awesome, and we'll talk about who's on the takeout in a little bit. But last night, we saw the debate between DeSantis and Haley, and it seems like the consensus last night and into the morning is, well, the winner was Donald Trump.
Hard to argue with that. Very hard to argue with that. I watched the debate last night, and I thought to myself, did anyone on either team say that if you're Nikki Haley or if you're Ron DeSantis and you spend all of your time arguing with and engaging in verbal jousting with your opponent next to you and don't talk about how you are different and better than Trump, then Trump will win? And apparently that conversation didn't have. And that is not a complex political bit of analysis. It's the simplest, basic, most fundamental political analysis. And it's the great mystery of this campaign, gentlemen. It just is. I've never seen a campaign in which people vying for the top prize, the nomination of a national party, don't want to criticize the leader in that race. Not very much, only at the margins. And if you don't tell voters why you're better than the one they're leaning toward or thinking most about, guess what's going to happen? You may come in second, but you're not going to win.
Yeah, it would seem to me that the only plausible rationale for the style of campaigns that we've seen is that they're hoping something catastrophic happens to Donald Trump, and they're there to step into the.
Correct. You're 100% correct.
And that's.
You're
looking for an act of God at that point.
You're betting your future on a variable over which you exert zero control. Zero. And that's not a fundamentally sound way to approach any endeavor, but particularly a political one. And there's this false argument that Republicans talk to themselves about. Well, if you go after Trump, you're going to lose the base. Well, in theory, yes, but you can try different ways. You can say, I'm better. I will do this. I appreciate that. But here's why, for the times, for what our country needs, I am specifically better. You can at least try that. And I thought last night was the perfect place to do that. The perfect place to say, look, I know you're looking in on this. It's the closing days of the Iowa caucuses. Chris Christie has just dropped out. The race has got a little bit of flex to it right now. Kind of a little bit of fluidity. So let me talk about why I am best prepared at this place, at this time, to succeed Donald Trump. And I kept waiting for that. It would sort of manifest a little at the margins, but mostly it was hammer and tongs, lie this, lie that. You're wrong about this. You didn't do that. You're a weakling on this, whatever. And I'm thinking, if I'm an Iowa Republican, it's like, if I like Haley, I was happy that she stood up for herself. If I like DeSantis, I'm glad he was fierce. But that's not the question right now. The question is, can you dislodge Trump and his at least 20-point lead in Iowa? Look, folks, it doesn't matter if Trump wins by 20 points or more. Who came in second? It just doesn't matter. That's a non-story. It only matters if you're somewhat close to Trump on election night come Monday. And what I saw last night, to me, based on my experience, and I could be wrong, anything is possible in politics, but based on many, 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 many years of watching this, I did not see anything to dislodge Trump's strong front-runner status in Iowa.
Yesterday, a kind of a strange thing happened in Congress. You had the contempt of Congress hearing. Hunter Biden was not asked to testify, but he showed up anyway. And then as soon as Marjorie Taylor Greene started talking, he got up and walked out. So just a very what has the reaction been after all of that occurred yesterday?
So the reaction is that on a theatrical scoreboard, Hunter Biden gets a very high mark. He had the theatrical control of that moment. And look, we are entering a stage, if we haven't already been in it for many years, where theater in politics is as important, if not more important, than anything else, than the substance, than legalisms, what people take away and how things bounce around in social media and ricochet through the consciousness of the country theatrically can and oftentimes does matter more than any of the underlying substance. And what was evident yesterday was Hunter Biden's people said, let's take control of this scenario. We don't believe it's legit, so let's take control of it on our terms. And then we'll leave on our terms. And the only thing that I think substantively matters is there is a legal process here. Congress can find someone in contempt for ignoring a subpoena. And you know where that contempt charge goes? It goes to the Department of Justice, which has shown its ability to indict Hunter Biden. Let's remind ourselves of that. You may think not often enough, but he has been indicted. So the Justice Department knows how to indict Hunter Biden, knows how to follow up. But Hunter Biden going there saying, hey, if you're going to accuse me of contempt for not answering your subpoena, and here I am, that will give the Justice Department pause to say, yes, you are in contempt of Congress. Again, that is a low-level substantive matter. The theatrics of it was to steal some Republican thunder, and I know most Democrats believe Hunter Biden did. I certainly know his legal team believes he did. And they at least, at minimum, fought the theatrical part of yesterday to a draw. Many think they won the moment.
Chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, Major Garrett, is our guest. Major, a lot of times heading into the early stages of an election year, and we're January of 24, you can read some tea leaves based on who in Congress is deciding to hang it up, not run for reelection.
Right.
And a lot of times that gives you a pretty good, at least insight into what at least the insider class thinks is about to happen. Have you seen anything in the retirement so far that to give you any sense of what's happening?
Yes, but it's not what you so accurately described. What you so accurately described is a kind of way to get a sense of the weather, what a weather vane, a kind of which way the wind's blowing, you know, because when people bow out of Congress, they think one of two things. Either their party is not going to keep what they have or get what they want. If you're in the majority, you're not going to keep your majority. You're going to be out of majority status. Or if you're trying to get the majority, you're not going to get it. And so what are you hanging around for? It's kind of an indicator like this. Because Trump and the Trump factor is so absolutely, positively singular, utterly unique in American politics, retirements on the Republican side in the House tell me something different. Not that they're unsure if they're going to win the majority or not. They already possess the majority, though it is incredibly narrow as can be. But some of them don't want to hang around for a Trump presidency. That's what I detect. Even though under the circumstances that you were describing, that would never be the case. What? Our guy or our gal someday, but our guy's going to get in? I want to hang around for that. Some don't want to hang around for that. That's what I detect. And I saw that yesterday in Greg Pence announcing he's not seeking re-election. So he's got a safe seat, totally safe seat. Could be in the majority. I'm out. And I think other Republicans are signaling that as well. A unique moment and a kind of tea leaf I never expected to see.
And all of that's happening against the the backdrop of the possibility, though it's not likely yet. Maybe it's not even imminent, but it is on the table, according to Chip Roy, that they might get rid of Mike Johnson, the new Speaker of the House they just voted for. So
right.
How likely is that possibility now?
I don't. I mean, honestly, this is such an upside down world, and I do make that in loving reference to Stranger Things, a show I very much enjoyed during lockdown. We are living in the upside down. I thought, and people asked me this earlier this week. Well, they've got this new deal on spending. You think it'll hold? I said, yeah. And I texted a bunch of Republicans and Republican aligned lobbyists, and they all pretty much agreed with me. My sense on Sunday was, look, the spending deal, conservatives won't be happy with it, but it's Kevin's deal. He reached it last year, middle of the year, so there wouldn't be a debt crisis. Johnson can blame it on Kevin and say we're going to govern because it's an election year. We want to keep our focus on Biden and the oversight and Hunter and all that other stuff. I'm going to work aggressively on all those things. Just give me a pass on this. And everyone said, yeah, that sounds about right. That's things we're going to land. Won't be easy, but that's where it'll land. And yet, Chip Roy is like, no, we're going to sack this speaker too. And I'm like, well, then I honestly don't know how to read things anymore, because that makes no practical legislative or political sense. It just doesn't. It disempowers your Republican majority when it's already as narrow as it could possibly be. But I don't know. I can't tell you that they're not going to do it. I can't tell you that.
So the objection some of them have is that they are working with the other side to get something done on a spending bill to not shut down the government. That's the objection. Compromise.
Right. But you have, and I'm not trying to be overly simplistic about this. It's very simple. The president of the United States is a Democrat. The Senate majority is Democratic. You are a Republican House. You have one part of a bicameral and divided legislative to executive branch government. You don't, by definition, get your way in every respect. You just don't. Because other people elected by other Americans to represent their interests outnumber you. And therefore you have to compromise. And it's not as if this spending deal isn't a retrenchment in some conservative ways from the deal struck last summer. It is. They got some more IRS funding reprogrammed, and they got some COVID money reprogrammed. They got a couple of things. Fall forward, dummies.
That's great. Fall forward, dummies. I will be using that forever now. Thank you for that. Major, who's on fall forward, dummies? Who's on the takeout this week?
So, Bob Casey, Democrat from Pennsylvania, senator, up for re-election. And as I mentioned on the show, I have historically, we're in our 8th year, by the way, of the takeout. I'm very proud of that. We have historically, because of my instincts, not had senators running for re-election on the show in a re-election year. But Casey's involved in a lot of issues right now. It's early in the year. I said, I'm going to make an exception. But I've offered his presumptive Republican nominee, David McCormick, a chance to be on the show, equal time. And I said, hey, Senator Casey and Dave McCormick, if you want to bring this show to Pennsylvania and have a debate on my show, The Takeout, we'll do that too. So anyway, that's Bob Casey. We cover a lot of ground. All this, Israel, Gaza, 14th Amendment, presidential immunity, the whole works.
Host of the Takeout podcast, Agent of Betrayal podcast, The Big Truth book, author of that, chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, and Cotton Bowl champion, Major Garrett, with us on KMOX. Good to talk to you. We will talk to you next week.
Look forward to it. Thanks.
That is Major Garrett. Mizzou grad. He's a Tiger.
He is a Tiger.
He is a Tiger. Hey, your favorite segment's up next.
Oh, this is what are you thinking about?
Well, we call it Did You See This?
Oh, yeah.
And also, John, we have tickets to give away today.
Have we now?
Got to be listening for your opportunity to win. It could happen next hour. Could happen the hour after that. Could happen in the next 15 minutes. There's no telling.
Billy Joel tickets.
Billy Joel and Sting at Busch Stadium.
Really?
September 27th.
I was kidding. That's really what we have?
Believe it, big
Wow.
boy. Got a pair of tickets we're going to give away today and tomorrow. Got to be listening for your chance to win here on KMOX.
This is Tom Ackerman. At the end of last Cardinals season, manager Oliver Marmol wanted to get together with fans, make himself available to answer all of their questions. And it is happening Thursday, January 18th at Tapawingo National Golf Club. For $75, a beef tenderloin dinner, 2 complimentary cocktails, and an intimate conversation with Ollie Marmol. Purchase your tickets today. They are online and they will go fast. KMOX.com/events.
I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. We are offering up to $100,000 savings on our designer market homes and special McKelvey financing of 5.5%, 30-year fixed, or 4.5% in the first year with our 2-month buydown. At Inverness at Bryan and Feisey Roads, we have our luxurious LaSalle display home for sale. This professionally decorated ranch is loaded with all the most popular features. Hurry, these deals won't last. Visit McKelveyhomes.com today.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. ramp.com/free.
It's everything Cardinals baseball this weekend as the Cardinals Care Winter Warm-Up slides into Busch Stadium and Ballpark Village. Meet former and new Cardinal players, hear from team management, buy special souvenirs, and take in Q&A sessions. KMOX Sports will be live at Cardinals Nation Restaurant, Saturday and Sunday 10 till 2 and Monday 10 till 1. The Cardinals Care Winter Warm-Up happening this weekend. For more info, click KMOX.com/events.
For by government.com.
The 1878 to 1921 Morgan silver dollar, a true American classic and one of the most iconic silver dollar coins in history. It's been 100 years since the last Morgan silver dollar coin was struck for circulation. And now, for a limited time only, full pound bags of original U.S. government struck Morgan dollars are being released to the public. That's right. You can own a full pound of 1878 to 1921 classic American Morgan silver dollar coins, all in very good collector condition with fully visible dates and mint marks guaranteed. Call 1-800-973-9819 now to secure collector-grade U.S. Morgan silver dollars by the pound, struck during the Wild West and the Gilded Age. Plus, receive a bonus American Collector's Pack valued at over $25, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9819 now to secure your full pound bag of Morgan silver dollar coins before they are gone. 1-800-973-9819. That's 1-800-973-9819.
There's something magical about unboxing. When you unbox BritBox, you uncover a world of British entertainment. Stream the UK's most brilliant series, including new and upcoming seasons of Shetland, Father Brown, and Death in Paradise. Plus new originals like Payback, Irving Welsh's Crime, and Archie, the story of Hollywood's greatest leading man, Cary Grant. Unbox BritBox and escape to the best of British TV. Stream with a free trial at BritBox.com.
Hey everyone, gather round. It's time for corny jokes about passing the torch.
The team at Kirian's Welding was fused together solid.
Thanks for all the late nights and early shifts.
But double retirements mean the crew must bond with some certified new hires.
You've both gone the extra millimeter.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey guys, Glover here for UniversalWindowsDirect.com. So if, like me, you get frustrated hearing ads that really don't tell you anything, how the product is better or even different. So Universal Windows Direct is better and different in this way. Our product was developed by NASA. It's a technology called Super Spacer. It keeps the edges of the glass warmer. It performs better. It lasts longer. You get a lifetime warranty, a true lifetime warranty. If you sell your house, the person you sell it to gets a 30-year warranty. That's Universal Windows Direct, different and better.
Amy Marks scores.
Fabulous.
Chris Ranji.
Unbelievable.
On KMOX.
Did you see that thing? I can't believe it. Something is obviously wrong.
This is a joke, right?
Oh my God. Are you freaking kidding me? No way.
You gotta be kidding me. Don't feel bad. There's no way you could have known that.
Now, did you see this with Chris and Amy on the show?
Hey, John, do you have any interest in moving to India and participating in a job service called Impregnate Women?
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I guess you're probably not interested in that. Well, apparently, a bunch of men in India have been scammed by a Facebook ad, which offers them the opportunity to choose between 7 or 8 women to impregnate, and in which they will be paid 500,000 rupees, which is the equivalent of about $6,000. And these men are answering the ad. They are having to give money to these scammers who are telling them we need the money for court documents so that we can make this all legal. And when the whole thing is done, you'll be paid $6,000. And typically they're all men who need money, and they are taken by this scam.
You know, the rupee's not worth what it used to be.
Well, I don't know what it used to be worth, but I will tell you this. That is one hell of a scam. Here's your opportunity. We'll get a hotel room, which is what they tell them. We will get the hotel room. We'll set up the meeting. You'll go there. They keep asking, we need a little bit of money to get the court documents. We need a little bit of money for the taxes. We need a little bit more money for this. And then before you know it, they have paid several $1,000s to these scammers.
Wow.
It's happening in India. This according to the BBC.
Be careful out there.
Yeah.
If it sounds too good to be true.
Also, did you see this story about Oklahoma City, which I've never been to?
I have.
What do you think of it?
It's a fine city.
There is a proposal for what they're going to call a development called Boardwalk at Bricktown.
Yeah.
They want to build a 134-story residential skyscraper.
Wow.
In Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it's booming.
But does it seem the next tallest building is 40-something stories?
Yeah.
It's triple the size.
Well, if they build it, they will come.
You sure about that?
Pretty sure.
Seems like overkill. Hey, John Hancock, Chris Ranji. We've got more coming up on KMOX.
Our goal at Neovitin is to make supporting your nutrition as easy as possible. That's why we created the Neovitin monthly subscription. Just go to neovitin.com, choose your multivitamin, sign up, and we will do the rest. You'll receive your Neovitin multivitamin every month with no long-term obligation. You can pause or cancel at any time, and shipping is free. Each Neovitin multivitamin includes our physician-formulated proprietary blend for nutritional support you won't find anywhere else. Start supporting your nutrition the easy way with Neovitin multivitamins. Sign up for a Neovitin subscription today at neovitin.com.
We all have different ideas of the perfect retirement, but they all depend on the same thing: not running out of money. Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group can help you develop a retirement income stream that fits your idea of the perfect retirement. Call 636-230-8824 or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC. The All Financial Group and Retirement Wealth Advisors are not affiliated. The All Financial Group is a financial services firm that offers a broad array of products and services, including life insurance and annuities, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
At Consumer Cellular, you get the same exact coverage as the largest carriers, but for up to half the cost. Same thing, up to half the cost. Up to half the cost for the same thing. 50% the money for 100% the same thing. I hope I'm making myself clear. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Half the cost savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 5 GB data plan with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plan offered by T-Mobile and Verizon May 2023.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together millions of things for our planet. This new year, make some resolutions that will improve the environment. Resolve to recycle more. Recycle paper, bottles, and cans. Reuse paper and plastic bags and get a reusable bag for groceries. Recycle old clothes by donating them to charity. And recycle old electronics like TVs, computers, and cell phones at appropriate e-waste facilities. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
Your home of the Chiefs, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Legends of Country Rock with Pure Prairie League, Atlanta Rhythm Section, Richie Furay from Poco and Buffalo Springfield, and Firefall. Saturday, September 28th, the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Don't miss Legends of Country Rock live.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
Staples Print Big Sale means the more you print, the more you save. Get $20 off your print purchase of 100 or more, 50 off your print purchase of 200 or more, and 100 off your print purchase of 300 or more. Ends 2/10/24. See staples.com/print for details. Print more, save more at Staples.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, we have sunny skies, 43 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. A top UN court has started hearing arguments in the genocide case brought against Israel in its war in Gaza. Mark Regev, a senior advisor to Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, flatly rejects the charges filed by South Africa.
It is an outrageous claim. South Africa has become the legal spokesperson for the Hamas terror organization.
Lawyers for South Africa want judges for the International Court of Justice to impose a preliminary order to halt Israel's military campaign in Gaza. A final ruling in the genocide case could take years. Questions continue about Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's hospitalization and when he should have notified the White House. CBS's Linda Kenyon has the story.
Secretary Austin's disclosure that he underwent surgery for prostate cancer last month and notified the president days after the fact has created a top-to-bottom review of procedures both among cabinet secretaries and within the Department of Defense. But should Secretary Austin resign?
No, I'm not calling for the secretary to resign.
Representative Adam Smith is the ranking Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee.
He needs to have a conversation with the president, though, to make sure that they understand why he made the decision he made.
And Smith says he, too, has a lot of questions about that.
It's a basic chain of command issue.
Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
In the greatest rebuke yet to Pope Francis, the Catholic bishops of Africa and Madagascar have issued a unified statement refusing to follow his declaration, allowing priests to offer blessings to same-sex couples. They assert that such unions are contrary to the will of God. The statement is signed by the Congolese cardinal on behalf of the Symposium of African National Bishops Conferences. It marks the closest thing to a continent-wide dissent from the declaration Francis approved December 18th, allowing priests to offer such blessings. Google says it's laid off hundreds of employees working on its hardware, voice assistants, and engineering teams as part of cost-cutting measures. Google had earlier said it was eliminating a few hundred roles, with most of the impact on its augmented reality hardware team. The cuts follow pledges by executives of Google and its parent company Alphabet to reduce costs. Nearly a dozen new Bitcoin funds began trading in U.S. markets for the first time today, providing increased access to the cryptocurrency for everyday investors. ETFs give investors a way to get in on trading in oil, gold, corporate bonds, and now Bitcoin without actually having to own a barrel of oil, a bar of gold, or a Bitcoin. From the KMOX Business Desk, inflation edged up in December, according to the Consumer Price Index released Thursday. Higher energy, housing, and food prices contributed to the increase in inflation. Mark Hamrick, senior economic analyst at Bankrate, says there's speculation about whether the Federal Reserve will reduce interest rates.
The Federal Reserve meets at the end of this month. The central bank is seen keeping interest rates steady at the first meeting of the year. Investors are betting that the Fed begins to reduce rates in March, but that's still one meeting away, and there's a lot of data on inflation and employment due before that announcement scheduled for March 20th.
The Federal Reserve aims to reduce year-over-year inflation to its 2% target level. The Dow from Stifel this hour down 234 points at 37,461. The S&P 500 down 36 points at 4,746. The weather is sponsored by Gateway Arch and Riverboats at the Gateway Arch. We'll have sun this morning, clouds this afternoon. It'll be chilly and breezy, a high of 46. Rain arrives tonight. We're looking for an overnight low in the 40s. Right now, we have 43 degrees in Florissant, 40 in St. Peters, and 43 with sunny skies downtown at the Arch. Gateway Arch and Riverboats at the Gateway Arch. What's the best part of working at the Gateway Arch? The view, the flexible schedule, and free metro transportation, or having fun meeting people from all over the world. Apply online today to be a tour guide at gatewayarchjobs.com. Pay starts at $16.30 an hour. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show, sponsored by Summer at SLU. Find your kids' best summer yet at St. Louis University.
John Hancock and Chris Ranji today on KMOX. It is the Chris and Amy Show. Amy is
gone.
Surfing or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Surfing, snowboarding, or skiing, maybe ziplining. I don't know.
Wow.
But she's not here.
Not here.
As we speak, right now, in New England, do you know what's going on?
Snow.
I don't know if that's true.
No.
Is it?
I don't know.
Do you know what else is going on?
Yes.
What? Right this second, as you and I are speaking.
They're looking for a new football coach.
Well, yeah, they are. The New England Patriots are holding a press conference right now. It's happening right now with Robert Kraft, who is the owner of the Patriots, and Bill Belichick, who was the head coach of the Patriots for 24 years.
That's incredible.
Up until right this moment. And they have said they're both there together at this press conference, and they have decided to mutually part ways. It's a mutual agreement between the parties that Bill Belichick is no longer the coach of the Patriots. And it's an unbelievable tenure because it does not happen in the NFL. You get to stick around as long as he did. 24 years.
With one team, yeah.
Right? I mean, it is a lifetime ago that I was in New Orleans watching them beat the Rams.
No, that's horrible.
Wasn't at the stadium. Wasn't at the Super Bowl. Inside the building, we were at a bar in the French Quarter. As Super Bowl week was going on, I'm in this bar watching Adam Vinatieri kick a field goal and beat the Rams, which would have been the second Rams Super Bowl victory. Just an absolutely impressive career. Whatever you think of Belichick, whatever you think of Spygate, whatever you think of any of the Deflategate stuff, or just the prickly personality that he had with pretty much everybody, just a remarkable career, John.
Oh, yeah. And the guy was, he was a kind of a villainous character. A lot of people across the country didn't like the Patriots because they didn't like Bill Belichick. But there is no arguing that he is one of the greatest football coaches in the history of the National Football League.
He's probably the best. Even if he doesn't have the most wins, he is the best. When you put it up against the amount of teams that were in the league when he was there, 31 other teams, right, he's going up against. He did have a greatest of all time quarterback, but he's part of that too. I don't really believe that quarterbacks turn into the Hall of Fame quarterbacks they become without at least a little bit of good coaching. I don't think that you get to that level unless you've had some good environment that you are being developed in. So he's part of that too. He's part of the marriage between Brady and himself and what they did. I'm watching him, and I watched what the Patriots did, and I don't know that we're ever going to see anything like that ever again. Not in the NFL. With as much parity as there is year to year, to see that happen for as long as it did, and for him to have the endorsement of ownership for almost 25 years is amazing.
It really is. And the success of that franchise under Bill Belichick until the last three seasons is, I think also unprecedented to have a 20-year run like they had. And, the other measure of a great coach is you look at their family tree, and you look at the number of Belichick assistants who went on to have very good careers coaching either in the NFL or in college football.
Mm-hmm.
There are dozens of them that have had great success.
Speaking of that, and I want to talk about tenure in just a moment, but speaking of that, not only did we have Belichick announce right now that he is no longer going to be the coach of the team, you had Nick Saban, who has had also an unbelievable tenure with Alabama, and what he turned that program into over the last several years. He is retiring.
Yeah, 12 years there. He was the defensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns under Bill Belichick.
They worked together.
Yeah.
And all of that, imagine that. Two of the most legendary coaches in the history of football, not just college or NFL, but both. Two of them have left their teams, one of them retiring, one of them just moving on to another situation. All of that happening in a day. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a big day, and it doesn't look like Saban is going to ever coach again. He's 72 years old. Belichick, I think he's 13 wins away from having the all-time record of wins for a head coach in the National Football League. And from
Yeah.
everything I've read, that is very significant to him. I expect he's going to turn up someplace else. I think he's going to end up in Atlanta.
Well, that is one of the places that people are talking about.
Yeah.
And maybe the front runner right now, that they've got a pretty good situation.
They do.
They have good ownership. They have everything really in place except the quarterback, which is that's a huge deal. But there's a possibility they could end up with a pretty good quarterback themselves, whether it's through the draft, trading up to get one, or trading for somebody like Justin Fields.
Right.
They could be in a really good position. You bring in Belichick, and that's what's been missing for him is the quarterback.
Yeah.
The last couple of years.
Yeah, they've not had a good quarterback. And I don't think the drafting in New England has been particularly good either. And Belichick, he had full control over that whole football operation there. I don't think he'll walk into that situation in Atlanta. Maybe he will. But there are good options. You mentioned Justin Fields. I think a guy like Kirk Cousins, who, he gets a lot of rap for never winning the big game, but his numbers are they're impressive numbers, and he's a
Steady.
good
He's
enough
steady.
He's a
Yeah.
good enough quarterback to take you far in the playoffs.
He's steady. I don't think that he's ever going to win a Super Bowl, but it definitely could happen. So Bill Belichick comes into the press room, and the first thing he says, because clearly it's just filled with cameras and reporters and whatever, and he says, "We haven't seen this many cameras since we signed Tebow."
That's a good line.
That's really kind of funny. I know a lot of people here hate him. A lot of Rams fans, people who were Rams fans, don't like him, and I get it, and I'm kind of the same way, but I can't. It's one of those things where I've softened on him over the years, where I feel like if you're that good at what you do, and again, I know he's abrasive with people, doesn't say a whole lot, has the tendency to be kind of a jerk. I still appreciate very much what he did, and I think it's hard not to, because I don't think I'm ever going to live through something like that again when it comes to sports. The longevity that we're talking about. Right now, the longest tenured NFL coach is Mike Tomlin, who was hired in 2007.
Yeah.
So John Harbaugh was hired in 2008. Andy Reid is the third longest tenured coach in the NFL. He was hired in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been there 10 years. Yep.
Right. Yeah, and Belichick, I know he coached the Browns. Was he at one time with the Jets, or am I misremembering that?
Do you have a coordinator position with them? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But, he's just the way he developed talent on that team.
He was a defensive coach, assistant head coach with the Jets.
Okay. Yep. I thought so. But the way he developed talent in that organization, his game planning, I think, is legendary. There was particularly on the defensive side of the ball, and the adjustments that team was able to make at halftime of game after game after game, year after year, are pretty remarkable. And you don't have that unless you've got a special kind of mind for football that Bill Belichick clearly has.
And I'm going to die by this, John. I will die on this hill that I don't know if the Patriots become what they did, as historically good as they were, if they lose that first Super Bowl to the Rams.
Well, they were the underdogs in that game.
Right.
And the Super Bowl history of that franchise was not a good one. It was the Patriots that got blown out by the Mike Ditka's Chicago Bulls, you'll recall.
Oh, the Bears? Yeah, the 85
Chicago Bears.
Listen to me, John.
Yeah.
It's the last time we've won anything.
I know.
I was, 9 or 8 when the Bears won a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
You kidding me?
I know.
My garbage franchise I root for.
That's terrible.
It really is.
They've got the makings, though. They keeping that head coach is a puzzle to me. I don't get it.
Dude, that's what we should have asked Major Garrett about. Major Garrett is a Mizzou guy.
Yeah.
I know he knows who Matt Eberflus is because he was there. He was the defensive coordinator for Mizzou for a while.
Right.
What
yeah.
What are we doing, man?
I mean, that's a classic case, and getting into the weeds here for all of you non-football fans out there, but Eberflus is a guy who's got he's got an asset there in Fields, the quarterback. And, Fields has got some growing issues and, doesn't always make the best decisions, and he's maybe not the best reader of schemes. Some of those things you can learn. But a good coach is going to take the
Gonna
skill
help him.
set. Yes, and
Yes.
Fields is talented, and they're not utilizing him, and that's straight up coaching.
Thank you,
They're
John.
they're not utilizing him to the strengths that he possesses, and then you keep the coach after that, after seeing that play out for a season that they were supposed to be a competitive team this year.
And they did improve. They won 7 games.
Yep.
They won 3 the year before. So there's a lot of improvement there. But man, John, you know what? You just want to take over for Amy altogether because I needed somebody to say that to me.
Is that right?
Oh my gosh.
Well,
I've been pounding that drum for weeks.
Well, there you
Just-
go. I mean, I think it's self-evident.
We talked to Torrey Holt. Did we talk to him on Monday or Tuesday?
Nice.
Because he is a Hall of Fame candidate.
And should be in.
He should be in. And a sidebar here, a friend of mine who covers sports, and he's really, really good with numbers. And he said, because I tweeted the interview with Torrey Holt, and you can go back and listen to it on the Odyssey app.
I will.
And he said, my friend said, that he is a lock to get in this year or at the very latest next year. So I trust this guy.
Good.
And I'm going to go with it. But Torrey Holt said, same thing. He said, Justin Fields, he's the truth. Holt also said that I asked him about modern football and how the rules have continued to cater toward the offense and help the offense. I said, how would you do in the modern NFL? And he said, I would eat. And I think he's right.
Well, he ate pretty well when he played, I'll tell you
Oh, he
that.
sure did.
Yeah.
So he will probably be a Hall of Famer, hopefully this year, if not next year. Buffalo Justin texting into the show and said, I am probably one of the few rooting for the Dolphins to win. LOL, bye-bye, Bill Belichick.
There you go.
So, okay.
There it is.
There it is. Anyway, he's retiring. That's the end, or not retiring, moving on to somewhere else, and then we'll see what happens. Nick Saban retiring. Amazing stuff. John Hancock, Chris Ranji. At the bottom of the hour, Matt Pauley will be joining us. The Chiefs have a playoff game coming up on Saturday night, which, by the way, you can hear for free right here on KMOX. If you live in St. Louis, though, in order to watch that playoff game, you have to pay for it.
Ridiculous.
You have to sign up for Peacock.
Ridiculous.
Isn't it?
Yes.
That's John. I'm Chris. This is KMOX.
2 ways to listen to KMOX in your car. 98.7 in the city, 1120 a.m. further out. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Don't miss out on limited time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. For a limited time, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, get an additional 20% off in-store clearance appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today because Lowe's knows deals. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 12/28/23 through 1/3/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
At Granger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
RENNER, forward and back. Hey, it's the Cardinal Cowboy. Renner Garage Door services the entire St. Louis metro area, St. Charles, South County, and Eastern Illinois. Sales and service. Renner, forward and back. RENNER, RennerDoorSTL.com. Giddy up!
Do you need to sell your home, but you need time to find your next home or to build that new construction home you've been dreaming about? Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, St. Louis's real estate expert, has a program for you. Gloria understands that those are two issues keeping would-be home sellers from moving into their dream home. Gloria Liu has developed her Sell and Stay program that allows you to sell, get your cash, and then stay in the home for up to 12 months. Gloria's Sell and Stay program takes the pressure off and gives you time to find your next home. Plus, now that you have the cash from your current home, it gives you leverage when negotiating your next home. It's a great solution to help get some of our listeners unstuck and moving. If this sounds like you, then call the one I trust, Gloria Liu, at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. That's gloriahasthebuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Have you been wanting to find the secret to losing weight and getting healthy the natural way without drugs or injections? Hey everyone, it's Dr. Michael Glickert with St. Louis Weight Loss Secret, and I know the secret to losing a half a pound to a pound of fat every day naturally, safely, and effectively without counting points or calories. No prepackaged meals, no hormones, no drugs, no injections or surgery. Schedule a free consultation now at moweightloss.com.
Hey, this is Debbie Monterey, and I just would like to reiterate what Dr. Glickert said, that you can lose a half a pound to a pound per day with St. Louis Weight Loss Secret. And I can say that with confidence because that's what happened for me. Getting on the scale every morning, losing a half a pound to a pound was extremely motivating to stay on my plan. I lost 20 pounds in the first month. I've lost over 40 pounds altogether using St. Louis Weight Loss Secret. It really is not that hard when you follow their plan. Find out more by going to moweightloss.com. moweightloss.com.
Major phone carriers make you sign contracts with rigid data plans to trap you into a kind of forced phonogamy. Sounds pretty insecure if you ask me. At Consumer Cellular, we believe in a more consensual and healthy form of phonogamy, free of contracts and more flexible to your data needs. This way, you stick around not because we force you to with contracts and fees, but because you love our phone plans. Like ardently love our phone plans. Phonogamously. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together millions of things for our planet. This new year, make some resolutions that will improve the environment. Resolve to recycle more. Recycle paper, bottles, and cans. Reuse paper and plastic bags and get a reusable bag for groceries. Recycle old clothes by donating them to charity. And recycle old electronics like TVs, computers, and cell phones at appropriate e-waste facilities. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Local news and information direct to your smart speaker. Just say, play KMOX.
All right, this is stupid. Is this Ides of March or is this Kansas? Or
Chicago.
is it neither? It's Chicago. I always get these bands confused.
Oh, no. Have you ever seen Chicago live? Great band.
I have not. Aren't they coming here?
I don't know. I mean, they've gone through, I don't know how many generations of performers, but that great music, Chicago.
I thought they were coming here, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't either. You know who is coming here?
Billy Joel.
And Sting.
Wow.
We have tickets to give away for that.
And that is remarkable.
Not right now.
Not right now.
Not right now, but we're going to give them away.
We are.
Listen, we're doing it today and tomorrow. We've been giving them away all week. And the reason do you know why we do it here?
Because we like you. We like the listeners.
That's right. There's no show in St. Louis that cares about the listener as much as this show does.
Well, that's an excellent point. Really an excellent point.
I wish more people would recognize it. You know, they think we're a bunch of jerks, but we're not. We're really not.
No.
As awful as Amy can be.
Yeah.
She's a nice lady.
Oh,
Ultimately.
yeah. Amy's great.
You know, I'm a
Love
nice
Amy.
person.
You're wonderful, Ron.
Thank you, man.
You're Mr. Positive around here.
Hey, that's right. Vote for me.
Yeah.
Vote for Ranj. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, and a comment from John says, at least Chris shows up for work. That's right, John. I do. I'm not on vacation number 20. Amy has been on vacation twice already, and it's January 11th.
Well, yeah, but in fairness to Amy, I mean, all those years that she didn't have vacations, you know, she was never gone. Now she's gone all the time. She's making up for lost time.
Her whole life was a vacation.
Well, that's true.
Texter says, I am so glad you brought up the Chiefs game being on Peacock. Can someone please explain this to me? Yeah, I'll explain it to you. It's very simple. The NFL got money to do it. Peacock paid for the rights for that to happen. There's money there.
Yeah.
The NFL is banking on people, on their product being so popular that people will sign up for it to watch that game.
Well, and don't you think that ultimately all professional sports are going to go to pay for stream services?
So that's what has been the word when it comes to ESPN, because if you have cable, and I don't know the exact percentage, But if you have a charter subscription, whatever it is, basic cable, a huge part of your monthly bill
is ESPN.
Is because of ESPN.
Yep.
And the reason it's because of ESPN is because they pay a lot of money for game rights.
Yep.
They pay a lot of money for NBA, for other sports, and for NFL too, because they've got, it's an ABC property.
Right.
And their NFL ESPN games. They are paying a lot of money for that. So you, in your cable bill, even if you don't watch it, you're shelling out quite a bit of that bill because of ESPN. So the word has been that at some point, eventually ESPN will be a pay service. And that's what I think is, maybe it'll be a thing that 15 years from now, I'll just be used to it. And that's likely what's going to happen with all of us. We'll be used to it. But I don't like the idea of having to have 50 different subscriptions. I like the idea of a la carte. I would like for it to be all in one place where I can pay one person or one entity, and I want this channel, that one, and that one. I don't want the others.
Yeah.
Instead of having to submit my credit card to 45 or 50 different places.
Well, it reminds me of the dinner conversation I had with my father along about 1973. And Andy Messersmith had just signed with the Atlanta Braves, one of the first big money free agent contracts. The Atlanta Braves, owned by Ted Turner at the time. And they made him number 17.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of putting Messersmith on the back of his jersey, they put Channel, because Channel 17 was at that point TBS, the Turner Broadcasting Company. And I remember my dad saying, they're going to make us pay for TV. Can you believe that?
Yep.
I'm never paying for TV. And we had cable within 3 years.
But then you just paid one place.
Yeah. But
Now
just the
now
concept of paying anything for TV was so foreign back in the early 1970s. And here we are again.
Used to pay per view for Cardinals
The
games.
times they are changing.
Man. Hey, Matt Pauley's going to join us when we come back. It's John Hancock and Chris Ranji on KMOX.
Hey guys, this is Dave from the Dave Glover Show, 1 to 5 p.m. on KMOX. So you can't do a talk show without talking about politics now and then. I consider myself to be a down-the-middle, independent, free-thinking guy. I am capable of my mind being changed. Hopefully I'm capable of at least challenging you. With 5 people on the show, you're going to find someone who you align with. It's honest, it's real, it's challenging, and it's fun. That's 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. every day on KMOX.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-333-1750. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-333-1750. That's 800-333-1750 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-333-1750. 800-333-1750.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no 2 people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart, it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. The Queen Sleep Number C2 smart bed is now only $9.90. Plus, free home delivery when you add any base. Ends Monday. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
At 11:30, we have sunny skies, 43 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. South Africa has formally accused Israel of committing genocide against Palestinians and pleaded with the United Nations top court to order a halt to Israeli military operations in Gaza. The allegations were aired Thursday in the International Court of Justice in The Hague. Higher energy and housing prices boosted overall U.S. inflation in December, a sign that the Federal Reserve's drive to slow inflation to its 2% target will likely remain a bumpy one. Overall prices rose 0.3% from November and 3.4% from 12 months earlier. 24 years and 6 Super Bowl wins later, the New England Patriots and head coach Bill Belichick have agreed to mutually part ways, ending the most decorated NFL dynasty of the Super Bowl era. Belichick spoke at a press conference earlier today announcing the decision and gave a message of appreciation for Patriots fans.
The fans here are amazing. There's so many memories of the fans, the send-offs, the parades, the Sundays. So appreciative of the fans for all the support they've given me.
The Patriots finished this season with 4 wins, 13 losses, the worst record in Belichick's head coaching career. Checking the forecast, sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. We'll have some sunshine, some clouds this afternoon. It'll be chilly and breezy with a high of 46 tonight. Overcast with rain arriving around midnight. A thunderstorm possible. Temperatures in the low 40s. Right now, sunny skies, 43 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Broadcasting from the Underline 3 Lawyers. GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
It's an NFL wild card playoff weekend. Let's get going now. Saturday, hear the Browns and Texans game at 3. When it matters the most. Don't have Peacock? You can catch the Chiefs-Dolphins game right here, starting at 7.
We know it's going to be a dogfight.
It's NFL wild card playoff action on your home for Chiefs football. KMOX.
John Hancock and Chris Ranji on KMOX. John is in for Amy Markscours. And it is time to go to the Quiver River Electric guest line again today. And this Cardinals report is brought to you by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back. Family owned and top rated Renner Door, STL.com. We've got Pat Mauley with us, or Matt Pauley, whatever it is. Matt Pauley, host of Sports Open Line, joins us. What's going on, Matt?
Risk Kanji, how are you? It doesn't work as well with you.
Hey, so you've got countdown to opening day tonight again, 6 o'clock?
Yeah, so I am right now live talking to you guys from Cardinals Nation Restaurant, where we are going to be recording with Chip Carey. It'll be Mike Claiborne, myself, and Chip. We're going to start recording at about 12 noon. So if people are looking for a place to come have lunch and watch us do radio and maybe meet Chip and Claibs, you can certainly do that this afternoon.
I'm a big Chip Carey fan. I love Chip.
As am I. I do too. I think he's fantastic.
He's a good dude more than anything else. I enjoy his company.
Yeah, my dad and his dad worked together. And the first time I ever talked to Chip was when I was working in Milwaukee, and I went up and introduced myself to him and told him, hey, my dad worked with your dad. The first thing he said to me was like, oh, man, I'd love to meet your dad sometime. And it was so genuine. And that was my first impression of him before he even got to St. Louis. And just being around him a little bit, he's a great guy. And he's got so many great stories. And the broadcasts he does are fantastic. So I think we really lucked out in St. Louis when he agreed to come here.
He also does a great Harry Carey impersonation.
I wonder how he learned it.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the best I've ever heard, but he's got the genes, it's all about the genes. But third generation, and his kids are broadcasting minor league games now, which is very, very, very cool. So
his kids have a general manager in San Antonio who was my general manager of a minor league baseball team when I was working in Colorado Springs. So everybody in baseball is always connected to somebody somehow.
6 degrees, buddy. It's all about the 6 degrees. So MLB Network came out with their top 10 list. They're in the process of rolling them out. And they had their top 10 starting pitchers now. And on that list of top 10 pitchers is the Cardinals' Sonny Gray. Are you surprised that he's rated that highly by the MLB?
No, he was second in American League Cy Young Award voting last year. So he absolutely is a top 10 starting pitcher. Where did they have him? I didn't see the list. Where did they have him ranked?
I'm not sure. He was in the top 10, though.
Okay. I mean, you could make an argument top 6, top 7, top 8, based off what he did last season. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Cardinals are done, right?
Probably, unless I keep saying this. We talked about this the other day because every time Ken Rosenthal writes about Dylan Cease, he keeps saying the Cardinals. And I don't think the Cardinals are going to get Dylan Cease, but I also think that if the White Sox keep kind of messing around for a while and all of a sudden some of these teams that do want a high-end starter start going in another direction, Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery, guys like that, for the Cardinals to all of a sudden, if they're the last team standing in that, maybe they find a way to make that deal work. But I think that's unlikely, and I think most probably they are essentially done in terms of big additions for the year.
If there's anything I can guarantee you, it is that the White Sox will most definitely mess around for a while. It's kind of what they do.
Well, maybe that'll be good for the Cardinals.
Well,
right?
hopefully
that's been the MO of John Mozeliak. Like, he swoops in at the most opportune times. When you look at when he's picked up, big players, he's very good at kind of reading the market and reading the room, and he doesn't get caught up in bidding wars and things like that. And I know there's a lot of Cardinal fans that would love for him to get caught up in a bidding war and spend all kinds of money, but that hasn't been his MO. So I think the longer this thing goes with Cease, whether it's a 0.1% chance to a 0.2% chance, I think the longer it goes, the higher the percent chance goes up.
Talking with Matt Pauley right now. Winter warm-up happens this weekend. What will you be participating in?
Yeah, so I'll be here Saturday from 10 to 2, and we'll be hosting on KMOX. And I've got a couple things on stage later in the day. I'm not 100% sure on that. And then I'll head out on the Cardinal Caravan on Sunday and Monday to traverse our great Midwest. So I'll have a very, very busy week.
Is this your first Cardinal Caravan?
No, I did one last year.
Oh.
Last year I did the Cape Girardeau, Evansville, Paducah, and Marion last year. So I hit 4 states last year. This year I'll be all in Illinois. I'm in Decatur, Springfield, Mattoon, and one more. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Those are great towns over there in our neighbor to the east. So the Cardinals, they enter this season. You can make a case that they're the favorites to win the National League Central, couldn't you?
I think right now you can make that case because Chicago hasn't done anything. Now, I read something earlier today somewhere on social media that, the Cubs are still talking with basically every top-tier free agent that's out there, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that they could have a Blake Snell and a Josh Hader and a Cody Bellinger and those kind of guys. So if the Cubs all of a sudden really make a big splash and do what that social media post says they would do, I think at that point they would kind of jump over the Cardinals. But right now, it's a muddled mess at the top of the Central. There's nothing really differentiating, honestly, the Cardinals, the Cubs, the Reds, and even the Brewers. I don't think much of the Brewers this year, but there's not a whole lot of difference, honestly. between what they've got, especially as long as Corbin Burns is continuing to pitch for them.
The Cubs did earlier today announce officially that deal for the left-handed pitcher they got from Japan, Shota Imanaga.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about him, so I don't know how much he improves their situation, but it sounds like they are excited about it, but who knows?
Yeah, I can't give you a scouting report on him. I mean, I could, but it would be made up.
The list that John brought up, the top 10 starting pitchers right now, Sonny Gray is number 10 in baseball. Number 1 is Garrett Cole. So it's Garrett Cole, Corbin Burns, Zach Gallen. Remember that name?
I do.
He is number 3 for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Justin Verlander, Blake Snell, Zach Wheeler, Spencer Strider, Logan Webb, Max Fried, and then Gray. So that's your top 10 starting pitchers in baseball right now.
I'd put Fried a little higher. I'd probably put Gallen a little lower. But I mean, generally speaking, I think they got the right guys on the top 10. I might shuffle the deck a little bit. Verlander's probably a little high for me on that list too.
Saturday, 7:00, the Chiefs in their first playoff game. They go in as a number 3 seed. You can hear the game right here on KMOX. In fact, all the NFL games Saturday and Sunday, you'll be able to hear here. Well, at least Saturday. We do have the game Sunday, I believe, correct? I'll look it up and make sure. But we do have the Chiefs game. You'll get the hometown call. Mitch Holthus is on that call. What do you think? What do you think about the Chiefs here, who are having, even as a 3 seed, we're talking about them having a down season?
Yeah, I mean, they still don't. Mahomes doesn't have anybody to throw it to other than Travis Kelce still. That's the main issue. With the weather and the home crowd, I think they'll beat Miami this weekend. That would be my belief. But right now, it doesn't really feel like that they're built for a long playoff run. But at the same time, it does feel like they're a team that has the pedigree. And if there is a light switch to be flipped, they're the kind of team that could do it.
Here's a very unpopular opinion, but what the heck?
Well, here we go.
What's the likelihood of the LA Rams making a deep run in these playoffs?
Yeah, I heard your son, your NFL insider, on Monday. He's all in on the Rams, John. And I mean, look, they've got a quarterback and they've got a heck of a coach. So you get those two things, and that can propel you in the playoffs. And they've been, they were kind of sneaky good this year because they didn't have a great start to the season, but they finished off strong. But it felt like most people had kind of forgotten about them at that point. They're in the same division as the team that's the betting favorite to win it all. I don't know. I just like them so much. I have a hard time saying anything good about them. So I just kind of assume that they're not going to do so well.
Why can't you're a reporter, Matt? You can't be objective.
I'm a host. I'm an opinion guy.
Well, I see.
I don't have my.
Hey, you're sticking microphones in people's faces. That's what a reporter does.
Yeah, I'm not so much a reporter right now.
Okay.
He's an entertainer. He's a
you an
commentator.
entertainer?
He's a commentator, insight and opinion guy.
I've always said that, like, when you're a game broadcaster or when you're a talk show host, like, there are journalistic parts of your job, but you're not really per se a journalist. Like, I certainly have some journalistic endeavors in my job, and when I need to put that hat on, I have the ability to do so and discern truth and non-truths and that sort of thing. But that's not really I put that hat on and take it off, as opposed to, just always being an entertainer for people.
And Ranji's always got the hat on.
Yeah, it sounds. I'm wearing a hat right now. And Matt, it sounds to me like you've just got a fake news agenda. That's what it sounds like.
One of the things that bugs me about that fake news thing is when Trump first started saying it, what fake news actually was is you would go on Facebook and there'd be literally like fake news stories that were created. And that was what fake news was. And then he was able to take that term and turn it into something totally different. And now it means two different things. Yeah. And I always like there to be clear definition to words. And now you don't even really know what fake news is.
Well, I know what fake news means now. It means any story that is about me and it's not favorable. That's what fake news is. If you've written a bad story if you found out I've done something wrong and you report on it, that's fake news. Well, just generally speaking.
Hypothetically.
It's not just him that uses it anymore, but everybody.
No, it's all over. Like, that was not a political statement by me at all. It's just something, it was one thing, and then one individual turned it into something else. And because of his position, it became something else. And yeah, I just think it gets all jumbled on what actually things are. I don't know. I brought this up. I'm sorry. I don't know how we went down this path.
Well, it's like the Kleenex out there. I mean, you had all kinds of nose tissues running around, and then all of a sudden Kleenex, and now it's all Kleenex. And then,
What?
Yeah, that's just like the fake news thing.
Oh, you mean like Scotch tape?
Yeah, it's just tape, but now it's Scotch tape.
Xerox?
Yes.
I know what you mean.
You remember, you probably don't remember the old mimeograph machines, do you?
What are you talking? Oh, whoa, where they made the dittos?
Yeah, they crank the handle and you get the test,
And
you get high sniffing them.
Yeah, they were a purple color.
Yeah, they were
Yeah, I
purple, and
remember
you
that.
sniff that thing, and
Oh,
all
it
of a
smelled
sudden
so
you couldn't
good.
remember who the president was.
And when it came out, it was kind of cold.
Yeah.
I remember it being cold and a little damp, and
Yeah.
it smelled, and you would sniff it, and it was purple.
I mean, the whole class was in there. They started telling jokes after about 10 minutes.
Hey, Matt Pauley, Bill Belichick retired. What do you think? Or not retired. He's leaving the Patriots. He's probably going to coach somewhere else, maybe Atlanta.
Yeah, it's an interesting turn of events, and especially Josh McDaniels is a free agent. If he can go get him, and those two guys go somewhere as a pair, they could turn around a team pretty quickly.
So, what do you have coming up here? You're going to do the interview with Chip Carey, you and Mike Claiborne. That's on that will ultimately air tonight on Countdown to Opening Day. What else you got going on?
Yeah, that's so tonight's 6 to 8 countdown to opening day. We're at Cardinal Nation right now. We're going to record here in just a little bit, and that's kind of it. So hopefully, if folks can't come out here to see it live, they will be listening this evening.
Are there people out there right now looking at you?
There are.
Are they?
And Chip has arrived.
Oh, Chip's there. Hey, tell Chip we said hi.
Yeah, tell Chip we said hello.
The folks at KMOX say hi, Chip. Chip says hi, KMOX guys.
The folks, give him names. Tell them who's Chris and John said hello.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my God. You know what? I can't count on Matt Pauley for anything. Matt, enjoy your day.
Thank you. You guys
We'll
too.
be
Good
listening
stuff.
tonight.
I'm not
All
going
right,
to listen
very
after
good.
that. After that display. I love Matt
He's
Pauley.
gone. He's
Matt's-
the best.
he's
Matt
great.
is the best.
Don't tell him I said that, though.
All right.
He's a fun guy.
He really is. And he knows his stuff too, which I appreciate.
Well, he better.
Well, I mean, not everybody knows their stuff. You
Hey.
ever watch these pundits on the news channels? A lot of those people don't know much.
Do we know what we're talking about?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Raj.
John Hancock in for Amy Mark. Does Amy know what she's talking about?
Amy is very informed.
It's Chris and Amy show on KMOX.
This is Tom Ackerman. At the end of last Cardinals season, manager Oliver Marmol wanted to get together with fans, make himself available to answer all of their questions. And it is happening Thursday, January 18th at Tapawingo National Golf Club. For $75, a beef tenderloin dinner, 2 complimentary cocktails, and an intimate conversation with Ollie Marmol. Purchase your tickets today. They are online and they will go fast. KMOX.com/events.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-333-1750. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-333-1750. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-333-1750. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-333-1750, 800-333-1750, or biglou.com.
Join KMOX for an exclusive evening at Tapawingo Golf Club with St. Louis Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol and Oliver Marmol Unplugged. For just $75, enjoy a delightful beef tenderloin dinner, 2 complimentary drinks, and insightful discussions hosted by Tom Ackerman. Gain unique insights into being the Cardinals manager and what he expects for the 2024 season. Secure your tickets now at KMOX.com/events. Oliver Marmol Unplugged. Don't miss this special evening at Tapawingo Golf Club, January 18th.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and Samuel Barry. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels, New York. And for psychics, think California Psychics. You want the best, you go to the best. At California Psychics, home of free spirits and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. That's why we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together, millions of things for our planet. This new year, make some resolutions that will improve the environment. Resolve to use less gas in your car. You can carpool to work a couple of days a week, use public transportation like buses or trains, combine errands to make fewer trips, and take a walk for any distances of a mile or less. And think about an electric car when looking for your next vehicle. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
The 64th St. Louis Baseball Writers Dinner will be one to remember. Hi, I'm KMOX Sports Open Line host Matt Pauley. The annual baseball dinner returns January 14th at the Missouri Athletic Club on a Sunday night. A $200 ticket includes access to a cocktail hour, dinner, and an awards program featuring, among others, Tony La Russa, Adam Wainwright, Wilson Contreras, and members of the 2004 pennant-winning team. There's also a VIP event with Jordan Walker and Mason Witt. Get your tickets now at stlouisbbwaa.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at ThrottleNet. So I'm so very proud to have represented the guys at ThrottleNet for all of these years. They are the IT geniuses. George and Mike are the owners. Fantastic guys. They can do all of your IT. They can do a portion of your IT. They have the best Apple support team. Their response time is under 2 minutes. Think about that, under 2 minutes. Something goes sideways with your IT, and they are solving your problem. And they're solving your problem within 2 minutes. Now, let's talk about cybersecurity. Most companies in St. Louis don't have cyber liability insurance. You get hit, you're on the hook, you're probably out of business. With ThrottleNet, if we represent you, we protect you. The first $500,000 that someone hits you for, which isn't going to happen, but if it does, we pay it. $500,000. That's what you're covered for with ThrottleNet. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS for all the information.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
Amy Marks Course
This is my show, my microphone.
on KMOX.
Here we go. John Hancock is in for Amy Marks' course today. I'm Chris Ranji. It is the Chris and Amy Show, 10 to 1. Every weekday on the Odyssey app, on 1120, 98.7 FM, KMOX.com. Where else, John?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
You get the stream. We're on the YouTube out there.
YouTube
we're
and Facebook Live. You
we're
can
on
watch
the
us.
Facebook over there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You can see my face. John doesn't want to be on camera, which is weird because you do, Fox 2, man. You're a TV guy.
Yeah, right.
Well, you are. You're
don't
regularly on television. How often are you on TV?
Every
Weekly?
week, yeah.
Yeah. So you know what that means? You're a TV guy.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You're the king of all media.
No, I'm not. Everybody, when people recognize me in public, they think I'm the weather guy at Channel 2.
Really?
Yeah. Because he's follically challenged as I am.
Oh, man. Who is it?
Glenn Zimmerman.
Glenn Zimmerman.
Everybody thinks I'm Glenn Zimmerman out there, but I'm not. I am not he.
Now I can't visualize him. I need to look
Well,
it up.
pull him
right
up.
now. Let's see.
Pull him up. He's me about 30 pounds ago.
Okay. Okay. Hey, speaking of media, you've heard of the Pat McAfee show.
Pat McAfee.
Really popular sport show.
Yeah.
At least it's got a cult following.
Got a following out there.
Yeah, it's got a following. It's on ESPN now. Pat McAfee was a former punter in the NFL, a good media personality, kind of outgoing. And
yeah.
So a lot of people like him.
Not a lot of punters have much of a personality.
Well, this one does.
Yeah.
And he had Aaron Rodgers regularly on his show. So it was a once a week segment, I believe, on Wednesdays that he would have Aaron Rodgers on the show. And for anybody who's followed Aaron Rodgers over the last several years, especially during COVID and in the aftermath of COVID, he was very anti-vax, very anti-Fauci, just he put his opinions out there, which is fine. He's more than welcome to. I've always hated the idea that people will tell athletes or musicians or actors to shut up and just do their jobs. Hey, shut up, just act. Shut up, just dribble. I don't want to hear your political opinions. And I dislike it because usually when it happens, it's just that they are saying things you don't agree with.
Right.
You tell an athlete to shut up when they say stuff you don't like. But when they say stuff you do like, you don't tell them to stop talking.
No, you quote them.
So it always bothers me, that sentiment.
Yeah.
However, I think that Aaron Rodgers, and he's free to have these opinions. I think the dude is out there. The dude does a little bit too much conspiracy internet reading, that kind of thing. You know, he's the ayahuasca guy, or I'm going to go to a dark room guy, or I'm going to come back faster from my Achilles surgery than anybody ever has guy because I'm doing it differently and I know something doctors don't, which of course was completely wrong, and he's not coming back like he said he was going to, or he didn't come back. But so I'm out on Rodgers as a person. I think he sucks as a person. He's welcome to have his opinions, and that's fine. Yeah. And I'm not saying it because I'm a Bears fan. I'm saying it because he just sucks. But he had the show with McAfee. And if you remember, he made the comment about Jimmy Kimmel when the Epstein documents, he insinuated that Jimmy Kimmel, who's made fun of him in the past on his talk show, was going to be on that list. As a result, a lot of uproar over it. Jimmy Kimmel went after him and said, hey, maybe I'll just sue you. Maybe we could do this in court. Well, he backed off on it. By the way, Aaron Rodgers no longer on the McAfee show.
You got the knife.
So it's over. I wanted to bring to you a little bit of what he said. We'll do that when we come back.
Sounds good.
This is KMOX.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you have to call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. It comes with a lifetime warranty, walk-in tubs, replacement showers, tub-to-shower conversions, and more. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends Mark and Neil Gelman from thegelmanteam.com. If you need to sell your home to buy a new one, it's never been more important to have an experienced negotiator that you can trust. You need my friends Mark and Neil Gelman on your side, fighting for every last dollar. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
How much do you worry about your debt?
With over $15,000 I owe, constantly it keeps me awake at night.
Accelerated debt settlement can cut your debt by up to 85% and in as little as 7 to 12 months.
I could be free of debt in no time?
That's right. Other debt settlement companies can take years to negotiate down your debt, but accelerated debt settlement moves fast.
The sooner I don't have to stress about my debt, the better.
Exactly. In just months, Accelerated Debt Settlement's legal team will negotiate your unsecured debt down 60, 80, even 100%. Your debt from credit cards, student loans, timeshares, medical expenses, and more cut down 60, 80, even 100%. And you'll save thousands of dollars in interest payments.
Finally, there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
And a good night's sleep.
Now get free of debt in a year or less with Accelerated Debt Settlement. Just call 1-888-959-4495 and we'll get to work for you. That's 1-888-959-4495. 1-888-959-4495.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
How are balloons made? Where did the dinosaurs go? Why is the sky blue?
Your kids asked you the tough questions because they trusted you. So how about another question for you? Do you have a trusted financial professional to go to for answers on your retirement? Questions like, how much do I really need to retire? When should I take my Social Security benefits? Could my taxes go up when I stop working? We'll leave those tough kid questions to you, but for your retirement questions, Heisey Advisory Group is the team to ask. Call them today at 314-328-4400. We all have important questions. Get your retirement questions answered with help from Heisey Advisory Group. Call now at 314-328-4400. That's 314-328-4400.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Security products and services made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. AEFS and Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC are not affiliated.
Hey guys, it's Glover. It's 2024 and it's time to get your home zero resified by our cleaning heroes Zero Res. Get 3 rooms Zero Res clean starting at $119. You can also get $50 off your air duct cleaning. 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 noon, we have sunny skies, 44 degrees downtown at the Arch. The news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. I'm Megan Lynch. Closing arguments being heard today in the penalty phase of the civil fraud trial, which could cost former President Donald Trump as much as $370 million in fines and also stop his real estate company, the Trump Organization, from doing business in New York. CBS's Robert Costa is there and tells us what Trump's attorney, Chris Keyes, said this morning during his closing argument.
Keyes is saying that Trump's valuations over the years, maybe some thought they were overvalued on some of these properties, but at the end of the day, he didn't commit fraud because valuations can be a fluid thing, a debatable idea in the business world, in the real estate world.
Keyes also said New York State Attorney General Letitia James was acting on a political agenda when she brought the case against Trump, who is now the frontrunner in the race for the Republican presidential nomination. Hunter Biden, President Biden's son, to be arraigned later today in Los Angeles on criminal tax charges. This as a Republican-led House committee continues its impeachment inquiry into President Biden. CBS's Catherine Herridge tells us why that committee is interested in the younger Biden's friendship with prominent Hollywood attorney Kevin Morris, who has also been Hunter's financial benefactor.
An IRS agent involved in the Hunter Biden tax investigation told Congress Morris spent nearly $5 million on behalf of the president's son. According to prosecutors and other sources, payments include $11,000 on a Porsche, purchases of Hunter Biden's art, and a loan of more than $2 million for Hunter Biden's back taxes. The payments and the timing have drawn the attention of Republicans running the impeachment inquiry into President Biden. Morris and Hunter Biden reportedly met in 2019 as Joe Biden launched his campaign for the presidency. A month before Super Tuesday, Morris sought to get Hunter Biden's outstanding tax returns filed. Caleb Burns is an expert in campaign finance law.
Could the Kevin Morris money present a legal issue?
Yes, if President Biden were to take official action to benefit Mr. Morris.
In a statement, an attorney for Morris said his client has not asked for or expected anything from President Biden or his administration in return for support of his son Hunter. From the KMOX business desk, the Pritzker administration is announcing a third consecutive year of record-setting growth for adult-use cannabis sales in the state of Illinois. For 2023, that exceeded $1.6 billion. The previous year's sales were $1.5 billion. The Dow from Stifel this hour, the Dow is lagging because of reports on inflation, down 124 points at 37,570. The S&P 500 down 23 at 4,760. Let's get a check now of the forecast. Here's Dave Murray.
No weather concerns at all this afternoon. In fact, this is the warmest day we will see in many days. Partly sunny, windy, 45 for the high this afternoon. Tonight, cloudy, windy, a couple of rain showers, could even be a rumble of thunder. Best chance for that will be after midnight, 38. Friday, rain, rumbles of thunder in the morning and early afternoon, changing to sleet and snow going through the afternoon. Very windy, 42 for the high, dropping to 30 degrees by late in the day on Friday. Friday night, snow ends in the evening. It's windy and it's cold, 10 degrees. Best chance for snow between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Friday. By the time it ends, it's not a big storm. 1, maybe 2 inches of snow. The big deal is the cold and the wind coming in. So let's keep it going. Saturday, partly sunny, windy, 25 for the high, wind chills near 0. Saturday night, clouds, snow flurries, and 5. Sunday, clouds, some light, dry snow, maybe some minor accumulations. 15 for the high temperature on Sunday, wind chills below 0. Sunday night, light, dry snow, and an overnight temperature of -2. Monday, partly sunny skies, but some snow flurries around, windy and bitterly cold. 10 for the high on Monday. Wind chills could be as low as -20. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Currently, we have 44 degrees in Florissant, 41 in St. Peters, and sunshine 44 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show, sponsored by Summer at SLU. Find your kids' best summer yet at St. Louis University. Time to rewind. It's the Chris and Amy Rewind Recap.
Well, today it's the Chris and John recap because Amy is on vacation.
A well-deserved vacation.
Well, look, it's like when you wake up in the morning and you're ready for a nap an hour later.
Yeah.
Well-deserved nap. She just got back from vacation. Now she's going back on one.
That happens.
So, John, we started off the show talking about the debates last night, between Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley, and the confusion. I don't know if that's even the right word, actually, because I think I know why they're doing it, but it is definitely the wrong move in the eyes of observers to not directly spend a lot of time going after the guy who's in front. Instead, they went after each other, which seems to not accomplish anything.
Correct. That's exactly right. And I would be shocked if Donald Trump's not the nominee.
Did anyone on either team say that if you're Nikki Haley or if you're Ron DeSantis and you spend all of your time arguing with and engaging in verbal jousting with your opponent next to you and don't talk about how you are different and better than Trump, then Trump will win? And apparently that conversation didn't have. And that is not a complex political bit of analysis. It's the simplest, basic, most fundamental political analysis.
So let's say, John Hancock, that you are political strategist John Hancock.
Okay.
And you are given the opportunity to work for Nikki Haley's campaign or Ron DeSantis' campaign. What are you doing prior to the debate last night, the days leading up to it? What's your strategy?
I would be on the phone with the other campaign manager and say, look, we've got a less than 5% chance that either one of us is going to be the nominee. Do you agree with that? And the other campaign manager would say, yeah, that's right. So what we need to do is take advantage of the fact that it's just going to be the two of us up on that stage. And we can unite and try and make a case that Donald Trump shouldn't be the nominee of this party. And because as long as a majority of Republicans think Donald Trump should be the nominee of the party, guess what? Donald Trump's going to be the nominee of the party. Now, it may not have worked, probably wouldn't have worked, but it would have been a better strategic move to have conducted that debate in that context than the one they both chose.
So then what do you believe ultimately is the end game on both of their parts? Are they running for 2028? Is this a, hey, remember me for 4 years from now? What is it?
It's partially that. I think they're hoping for some, external act of God to remove Donald Trump from the playing field and then inherit his voters. That can be the only explanation for the kind of campaigns they ran. And everybody in that field but Chris Christie was running that same kind of campaign, whether it was Tim Scott or, Pence. Pence really took it to Donald Trump early on in that campaign. But, you look at what Chris Christie produced, and it wasn't much. He didn't have much support. His favorable, unfavorable rating was way upside down. So, it's possible, maybe even likely, that there was nothing going to happen that was going to deny Donald Trump the nomination in today's Republican Party.
I want to promise you this. I am going to make sure that in no way do I enable Donald Trump ever be president of the United States again. And that's more important than my own personal ambition.
So Christie did drop out of the race. People have been telling him to for months now that he has no chance. What his goal, he says, is to make sure Trump is never president. What can he actually do if he doesn't hold a position of power? I mean, he can be a pundit,
right?
But is that, if you're a pundit, does that really help? I don't know what. And you did say that you thought his speech yesterday was reasonable and worth listening to.
Yeah.
But what power does he ultimately hold?
Not much, because he's not somebody historically, well, anymore. There aren't any Republicans that Democrats like anymore, and vice versa. There was a time in American history where, a guy like Sam Nunn, for example, a senator from Georgia, Democrat, I had a good respect for Sam Nunn and thought that, he would oftentimes make good and valuable points in political debate, but those days are gone. But they're gone.
You also, just a moment ago, heard from Major Garrett, who joined us, as he always does on Thursday. Chief Washington correspondent for CBS News. If you missed that interview, you can go back and listen to it on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, or KMOX.com. We spoke quite a bit about Bill Belichick, who is, and I know this is a big story outside of sports, because I was out in the kitchen just about an hour ago, and it's on the Fox News, his press conference. He and Robert Kraft of the Patriots having a press conference because Belichick is leaving the Patriots. Fox News is running it. They're running the press conference. So I know that for a guy who coached for 24 years with one team, pretty big deal in the NFL, 6 Super Bowls, to be able to accomplish what he did and then to see where he goes next will be very interesting.
Yeah, and you just don't see that in any professional sports anymore.
No baseball, hockey.
Hockey, the average tenure is like 3 years.
Greg Popovich has been around for a long time with the Spurs.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of when he got there. I'll have to look this up.
But it's rare. It is very rare.
He's been with the Spurs since '96.
Yeah,
that is a very long time.
It is. That's very rare.
Wow.
And La Russa was here 16 seasons, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a long tenure.
So it's fascinating. We'll see where he ends up going. We also mentioned the Kansas City Chiefs. They do have their playoff game on Saturday. We have both games on Saturday airing here on KMOX. There's a game that happens, I believe, at 3 o'clock. It gets started. So there are 2 playoff games Saturday. We're not airing anything on Sunday. So if you want NFL football, and if you want to consume the Chiefs game for free, we are your only option. KMOX is free.
You got to pay for Peacock, whatever that is. What is Peacock?
It's a streaming service. It's an NBC streaming service.
Right.
Yeah. So speaking of football, I mentioned we talked a little bit about it before we got to the top of the hour news, the Pat McAfee show that had Aaron Rodgers, and he did a regular Wednesday appearance. And McAfee, yesterday we find out that Rodgers is the season's over, so he would have been done anyway for this year. But it looks like Rodgers, after talking about Jimmy Kimmel and implying that Kimmel was going to be in the Epstein documents that were released last week, it sounds like McAfee is done with Rodgers on that show.
So Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, season 4 is done.
Yeah.
Good season. There's going to be a lot of people that are happy with that, myself included, to be honest. With the way it ended, it got real loud and real loud. I'm happy that is not going to be my mentions going forward, which is great news. We're a conversation show. People are having conversations. We live in a country that has freedom of speech, but also you're going to have to deal with the consequences of your freedom of speech. So what I'm saying is we've given a lot of people who've been waiting for us to fail a lot of ammo and things to attack us for over the last week. And we would love to get back to the point where we just move on and continue to silence all the haters over here who can't negotiate as good as I can, all the people over here who can't create a show as good as us, and all the people up here who are just going to always be here and they're going to hustle and do their thing, which I respect. But we need to do that. And that is our focus. That is our goal. And Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer. He's a 4-time MVP. He's a massive piece of the NFL story. Whenever you go back and tell it, he will be a huge part of it. We are very lucky to get a chance to chat with him and learn from him. Some of his thoughts and opinions, though, do piss off a lot of people. And I'm pumped that is no longer going to be every single Wednesday of my life.
Well, and I don't blame him, but it did sound like, according to reporting, that was McAfee's decision and not necessarily ESPN's. So, again, to go back to what we were talking about before, I don't mind if athletes have opinions. They're allowed to, and they're allowed to use their platform for opinions. All I ask is that they are informed opinions. I ask that they do a little bit of not let me find dark web material that backs up whatever I think. kind of research, but like real research with reputable sources. That's all I ask from people. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers does that. I think he has his alternate sources to confirm whatever he wants to have happen. And he's also one of those people, and he did say it when he was on his last appearance, talking about cancel culture, and he's being canceled. I think what McAfee said in the middle of that monologue is important. That, yes, you can have free speech, but sometimes there are consequences.
That's exactly
to
what I
you
flagged.
say.
Yeah. And he's dead right about that. People are free to believe and think and say anything, they want. Within certain, you can't scream fire in a crowded theater,
Right.
unless, of course, it's on fire. But there are consequences to that. And yeah, if Aaron Rodgers is happy living the life he's living, and a whole lot of people don't like him or think that he's nuts or whatever, and it doesn't bother Aaron Rodgers, then, God bless him.
I think that is one of the things that's bothered me the most about the cancel culture crying, and that I'm being canceled for my beliefs. I'm being canceled. Look, you're not being canceled for your beliefs. And a lot of times the people who say I'm being canceled are doing so on huge platforms where they're not being canceled. We're all, Dave Chappelle talking about cancel culture just got another Netflix special. He's not being canceled.
Yeah.
A lot of the times that's used, it is absolute nonsense. But we, I think, have forgotten about the idea, John, that there are consequences to what you do. And are some people over the top with, I want to cancel this guy or I want to cancel this lady? Yeah, maybe, but that's not the majority. That's not what's really happening. I think people don't like it when they do or say something stupid and they face repercussions for it. It's just easy to then cry about cancel culture.
Yeah. I mean, I have a fundamental belief that markets work. That's why I'm, that's why I believe in capitalism and free enterprise. Markets work. And they also work as it relates to speech or entertainment or other things. Ultimately the public is going to decide what they're willing to accept or not accept. And that's part of the way markets operate.
Yeah. And it's the same sort of idea that Elon Musk, when he is upset at advertisers for pulling out of Twitter.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be associated with it, saying that he's being blackmailed. I'm being blackmailed by these companies who don't want to advertise. No, you're not being blackmailed. They have just made a calculation that they don't want to be associated with your product.
Yeah, I mean, it's really that simple. And and it is his product. That's indisputable. He bought Twitter for $43 billion,
and it's worth about 75% less than when he bought it.
It probably is.
No, I think it's 71%.
Yeah, but I mean, that's his. He owns it. He can do what he wants with it.
Sure.
But you can't force people to advertise on your platform.
That's John Hancock. I'm Chris Ranji. There is a push from some Missouri Republicans to do something that is kind of surprising to me. And we'll talk to John Hancock about it when we come back on KMOX.
Come meet the Cardinals manager. It's Oliver Marmol Unplugged. January 18th at Tapawingo Golf Club. For more information or to purchase your tickets, go to KMOX.com/events.
The cookie cutter approach works well if you're making cookies, but not so well when you're trying to plan for retirement. If you want a customized income strategy, call Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group today, 636-230-8824. Or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC. The All Financial Group and Retirement Wealth Advisors are not affiliated. The All Financial Group is a financial services firm that offers a broad array of products and services, including life insurance and annuities, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
At Neovitin, we are all about supporting your nutrition, and that's why we are excited about our new Neovitin Omega-3 supplement. Neovitin Omega-3 is formulated with 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids to help support healthy hearts. Our high-quality omega-3 fish oils are sourced from wild-caught fish and tested for heavy metals. With our convenient monthly subscription, you can get Neovitin Omega-3 delivered right to your door every month with no long-term obligations. Support your daily nutrition and sign up for a Neovitin Omega-3 subscription at neovitin.com today.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. No one should be injured or be the victim of assault when using a rideshare service.
these companies need to be held accountable.
Under law, call 314 or 618-900,000 to learn more.
For-by-government.com. The 1878 to 1921 Morgan Silver Dollar, a true American classic and one of the most iconic silver dollar coins in history. It's been 100 years since the last Morgan Silver Dollar coin was struck for circulation, and now, for a limited time only, full pound bags of original U.S. government-struck Morgan dollars are being released to the public. That's right, you can own a full pound of 1878 to 1921 classic American Morgan Silver Dollar coins, all in very good collector condition with fully visible dates and mint marks, guaranteed. Call 1-800-973-9819 now to secure collector-grade U.S. Morgan Silver Dollars by the pound, struck during the Wild West and the Gilded Age. Plus, receive a bonus American Collector's Pack valued at over $25, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9819 now to secure your full pound bag of Morgan Silver Dollar coins before they are gone. 1-800-973-9819. That's 1-800-973-9819.
Have you been wanting to find the secret to losing weight and getting healthy the natural way without drugs or injections? Hey everyone, it's Dr. Michael Glickert with St. Louis Weight Loss Secret, and I know the secret to losing a half a pound to a pound of fat every day naturally, safely, and effectively without counting points or calories, no prepackaged meals, no hormones, no drugs, no injections or surgery. Schedule a free consultation now at moweightloss.com.
Hey, this is Debbie Monterey, and I just would like to reiterate what Dr. Glickert said, that you can lose a half a pound to a pound per day with St. Louis Weight Loss Secret. And I can say that with confidence because that's what happened for me. Getting on the scale every morning, losing a half a pound to a pound was extremely motivating to stay on my plan. I lost 20 pounds in the first month. I've lost over 40 pounds altogether using St. Louis Weight Loss Secret. It really is not that hard when you follow their plan. Find out more by going to moweightloss.com. moweightloss.com.
Psst, hey, Mark, remember, getting help from Progressive is so easy. You can use the mobile app, chat with us online, or call us.
And you pick now to tell me.
I couldn't miss Little Grace's ballet recital. Oh, thanks for inviting me, by the way.
Did I?
Because you know I'm always here for you.
Yeah. I can use the mobile app if I need help. Sorry, you're in my wife's seat, though.
Oh, yeah, I gotta go anyway. Tell Grace she nailed her chassé.
Get the help you need from Progressive with our mobile app, online chat, or over the phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
We go where you go. 11:20 a.m., 98.7 FM, KMOX.com.
Chris and Amy show. John Hancock is here, and we've got tickets for Billy Joel and Sting we're going to give away before
Now?
the show's over. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it right now.
I'm for it.
How about right now? Billy Joel and Sting tickets. We are looking for caller 18 to 314-436-7900. Billy Joel and Sting, Busch Stadium, September 27th. Ticketmaster is going to have the tickets when they're on sale, so you can win a pair right now for free.
Count to 7 before you call in.
7?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you'll be caller number 18.
Caller
I've
number
got this
18.
all figured out.
Yeah, and the phone lines are lighting up right now.
Well, why
for it.
wouldn't they? Well, that's a great ticket package.
Billy
right there.
Joel and Sting,
Oh.
baby. Woo. So that's coming up. Also, if you don't win today, I mean, best of luck to you. If you don't, you got a
Tomorrow
chance
is
tomorrow.
another day.
Tomorrow we'll give away our final pair of tickets for Billy Joel and Sting. So there is a push from a handful of Missouri Republicans to end the death penalty in the state of Missouri. And I said before we went to break that I didn't expect it. To me, it's not expected when you look at the national numbers and support for the death penalty in general when it comes to murder. In April of 2021, the numbers say, according to Pew Research, that 77% of Republicans were in favor of the death penalty in murder cases. Independents, 60% were in favor. Democrats, 46% were in favor. So the Republican Party, and that number, by the way, of 77 is down from what it was just a couple of years prior when it was at 84%. Still large support for the death penalty. So it was surprising to me, John, to find out there are a handful of Republicans, including Chad Perkins, who is leading this charge, that they want to do away with it in Missouri. It doesn't surprise you, though?
No, there's been a school of thought in Republican politics, certainly not the majority, but for some, it's an issue of consistency on the pro-life position. That if you're going to be opposed to ending the life of an unborn child, then how can you then support ending the life of a criminal? I don't think that argument is very consistent, but it's a thought that exists out there. There's another school of thought altogether different, that the cost of having a death row inmate is exorbitantly higher than somebody that's just serving life in prison
because of the appeals,
because of the appeals process that take place, and the length of time between the conviction and the actual execution is years in most cases. So, those would be some of the rationales for opposing the death penalty. But I still think the majority of conservatives and GOP members think that, look, there are some crimes that are so heinous. And if you believe evil exists in the world, and I do, there are some people that are so evil that they have merited it for themselves. I've never thought of the death penalty as a deterrent. And certainly, I don't know many people that make the argument that it is a deterrent, but I do think it's a just sentence in some cases. You better be darn sure you've got the right person.
And that's where I am on it.
Right.
There were 5 states last year that carried it out. Missouri carried out 1, Texas, Florida, Oklahoma, Alabama. My issue with the death penalty, and there was a time where I was in favor of it, but the more I've gone on and the more stories you hear, and it's all anecdotal, of this guy who was on death row for 30 years and very clearly did not do it. And you have people who have recanted their stories. When the only evidence was one person's testimony, and then later they say, well, they kind of coerced me into this. And the state, whatever state that might be, refuses to do anything about it. If one person is put to death wrongfully, that's one too many, because there's another alternative. And the other alternative is they stay in jail. It's not like it's death penalty or they go free.
Right.
There is another option. And I cannot imagine being put to death for something I know I did not do.
That's obviously wrong, but there are cases where you got the right person. They've merited that punishment, and I got no problem.
I get that.
With it.
Drones in South City? Well, it's happening. We'll talk to Sarah Crosley, resident of Gravois Park, next on KMOX.
If you want answers, you've got to ask the right questions.
Michael, this is a great question. And as you know, we do have some budgetary issues.
We question newsmakers and decision makers each night on Total Information PM.
I think you've asked a very, very comprehensive list of questions.
Getting to the heart of the issues.
I work with journalists worldwide. You've researched and know this subject better than anyone.
Reaching for understanding.
You are an objective reporter, and you're a great investigative reporter.
We aim to get you to that aha moment every night. I'm Michael Calhoun with Total Information PM at 5 o'clock on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here for UniversalWindowsDirect.com. So if, like me, you get frustrated hearing ads that really don't tell you anything, how the product is better or even different. So Universal Windows Direct is better and different in this way. Our product was developed by NASA. It's a technology called Super Spacer. It keeps the edges of the glass warmer. It performs better. It lasts longer. You get a lifetime warranty, a true lifetime warranty. If you sell your house, the person you sell it to gets a 30-year warranty. That's Universal Windows Direct, different and better.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when nothing else worked. 1 year later, my wife Michelle and I attended the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis seminar. In 2 months, lost 43 pounds, and she lost 18 pounds.
And we feel great.
Seminars Tuesday, January 30th at the 4 Points by Sheraton St. Louis Fairview Heights in Fairview Heights, and Wednesday, January 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites St. Louis Airport in St. Louis. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
I hate winter,
But as a kid, I used to love it snowing. And my dog, when it snows, he's just like me being a little Hoosier. When it snows, we wake up and we would just run outside. We didn't care what we had on and just run around and build snowmen, roll around in the snow. He does the exact same thing. He can't build snowmen. He wants to do snow angels. But if you can picture this, he's a big German Shepherd, all right? He's good size. But he's got little legs and little arms. He doesn't know he's a dog, but he wants to make snow angels, so he tries his best. And he just ends up just rolling around in circles for the longest time. You got to love it. With that being said, keep the calls coming. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. It is 314-293-2600. That's Bart Inman, 314-293-2600. And BartInman.com. That is a B for Bart. Otherwise, Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com.
At 12:30, we have sunny skies, 44 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. The Labor Department reported today the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits dropped last week to its lowest level in nearly 3 months. Also today, the Consumer Price Index showed that inflation edged up in December. Higher energy, housing, and food prices contributed to the increase in inflation. A shocker from Hertz, sending electric vehicle stocks skidding lower. CBS News business reporter Jason Brooks has more.
Hertz announced that it's going to sell 1/3 of its electric vehicle fleet, about 20,000 cars, and use the proceeds to expand its gas-powered fleet in order to meet customer demand. CEO Stephen Scherr said during the rental company's recent earnings report that there was a high cost to maintaining EVs, and that collision repairs to EVs can often be double the cost of compatible gas-powered cars. Hertz will take a $245 million charge in earnings from the sale of its EVs.
Shares in Tesla and other EV makers slumped on the news. Federal officials are investigating Boeing's oversight of production of a panel that blew off a jetliner in mid-flight last week. The Federal Aviation Administration said Thursday that the investigation is focusing on door plugs like the one that came off an Alaska Airlines Boeing jetliner over Oregon. Checking the forecast, sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning. It's going to be sunny for most of the day, but we'll see a few more clouds coming in this afternoon. Breezy and chilly, a high of 46. For tonight, overcast. The rain is going to hit us around midnight. We could see a thunderstorm as well overnight. Temperatures are going to be in the 40s. Right now, we have sunny skies, 44 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
But my lips are turning blue. Are they fast?
My darling, Jerry Kelly can install a new furnace tomorrow, no matter what day tomorrow is, even if we call late at night.
You are my hero.
They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. JerryKelly.com.
RENNER, forward and back. Hey, it's the Cardinal Cowboy. Renner Garage Door services the entire St. Louis metro area, St. Charles, South County, and Eastern Illinois. Sales and service. Renner, forward and back. RENNER, RennerDoorSTL.com. Giddy up!
Broadcasting from the underlined Three Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
Billy Joel and Sting together for the first time in St. Louis. Friday, September 27th. One special evening at Busch Stadium, live in St. Louis. Verizon customers get access to exclusive free sale tickets now through Thursday at 10 p.m. before the general public on sale Friday, January 12th at 10 a.m. Get tickets at Ticketmaster. Don't miss Billy Joel and Sting.
You couldn't pick a worse time to sell your home. Sure, your home is worth a small fortune right now, but are you really going to swap your 2 or 3% current interest rate and pay 7 or 8% interest on a new house? No way. You don't have to with the Get Paid and Stay program from Truehold. This is ingenious. With the Get Paid and Stay program, Truehold will buy your home now at its best current value. You bank the cash and stay in your home until interest rates come back down, or as long as you like. It's your call. Plus, you won't have to pay property taxes, insurance, or upkeep anymore. Truehold pays those expenses. Learn more about Truehold's Get Paid and Stay program. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The the smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com.
Join KMOX Sports at the Cardinal Scare Winter Warm-Up happening this weekend at Ballpark Village. We're live 10 till 2 Saturday and Sunday and 10 till 1 on Monday at Cardinals Nation Restaurant. The Winter Warm-Up. You don't want to miss it. KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
Congratulations, Tom from Baldwin. Tom in Baldwin has won a pair of tickets.
He counted to 7. He called. He was the 18th caller, and now he's going to see Billy Joel and Sting.
Well, hot damn. Billy Joel, Sting, Busch Stadium, September 27th. Pre-sales going on right now until 10 o'clock. And then the tickets actually go on sale tomorrow. That'll be a really great concert.
It will.
And it's going to happen at the end of the baseball season, right there at the end of the baseball season. So September 27th, Busch Stadium, Billy Joel, Sting. And we do have one more pair of tickets to give away. We'll do it during the Chris and Amy show tomorrow between 10 and 1 o'clock. We go to the Quiver River Electric guest line. Again today, we are joined by a resident of Gravois Park, Sarah Crosley, who is going to talk to us about what's happening with these drones, these surveillance drones from an outside companies out of Washington, D.C., and the CEO of SMS Novel said, I'm sending drones to St. Louis to monitor the crime, even though nobody asked him to do it. And Sarah is with us on KMOX. We appreciate your time, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me today. I appreciate it.
Sure. So we talked to Alicia Sonier yesterday about this, and, and she clearly didn't want it there. The residents didn't ask for it to be there. And we find out after the fact that they've already been operating there, at least according to the CEO. He says nobody has noticed it. We've been there for 2 months. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the point about nobody asking for this is a really, really good one. I moved to Gravois Park in October. I intentionally purchased my first home in this neighborhood for a lot of really good reasons. And really the drones aren't part of that. And again, nobody asked for this. Nobody knows who this person really is. I take a lot of concern out of the fact that, he's in DC. Maybe he pointed to a map and said, this is a good spot for this. And to me, just because he's had what he thinks is a good idea, that doesn't really provide any justification for what he's doing. And frankly, what provides a lot of justification for what he should not be doing, it has been the response from really me and my neighbors. Nobody that I've spoken to is interested in this.
Do we know from the police department, are the police encouraging this as a way to identify crime? And are the police working with this company, or is this guy just literally a lone wolf out there?
Last I heard, he hadn't spoken to the police. And I think this brings up a really critical point. It's one thing when your government says we're rolling out a new service, we're rolling out a new attempt to, reduce crime or increase safety or whatever it is. This is legitimately an unknown private company who I think is trying to make a buck off of us. So to my knowledge, I don't think he is cooperating or collaborating with City Hall in any meaningful way.
You said that, and nobody you have spoken to is in favor of this, you living in Gravois Park. The people who are objecting to it, what are they saying about it?
They're saying that this type of surveillance and surveillance in general doesn't actually reduce crime. They're saying that we don't want, an unaccountable company to be creating footage of us in our homes, on our sidewalks, in our parks, on our way to work. I have a lot of questions about, if this were to happen, who gets access to this? How could this be used against people in a way that is, infringing on their constitutional rights? We in St. Louis have a ton of available ideas around what can make ourselves, a safer place to be and live and work and play. And drones operated by anybody isn't part of that.
Jomo Johnson is the name of the guy who runs this company, SMS Novel. And as I said, we were talking about the objections to it over the last few days, and he said, you're not even going to notice they're there. In fact, I can tell you that we've been there for 2 months and you haven't noticed. That doesn't really seem to be the issue for the residents, as far as I can tell. It's that you don't want them. It's not that they're going to be a problem or like a nuisance. It's that you don't want to be surveilled without permission. His argument is they are allowed to film in public. They're allowed to do that because they're only operating in public spaces.
Mm-hmm.
What is your answer to that?
Yeah, what's funny is part of his argument keeps changing. And so, he's also said that the drones would be a deterrent because people would know that they're there. So I don't really know which is it. Is it I'm not going to notice it or I'm going to know it's there? And frankly, I'm not a lawyer. So whether or not it is legal isn't something I can address. But whether or not it's ethical and moral is something that I have an opinion about. And so it is really that we don't want to be surveilled. That doesn't mean we don't welcome new strategies to improve our sense of safety. That doesn't mean we don't, welcome new ideas to make ourselves a stronger neighborhood. It just means that he's not done any of the work to actually help benefit us. This is, I think, he's got some sort of scheme running.
What do you think about surveillance cameras that are everywhere these days? Businesses put them up, hospitals, they're everywhere, and they have become a big part of solving crime. Do you have a similar kind of feeling about that as you do these drones that are flying around?
I do, and what I appreciate about what you just asked is that you said solving crime, right? We're getting to the answer of a crime that has happened because now we have a recording of somebody who did it. That's not necessarily a crime prevention measure, and that's what this is pretending to be. I do have some strong issues around how much privacy we have all sacrificed in the name of, oh, well, this will help prevent packages being taken off of my porch, or this will help make sure that nobody, messes with my property. And so I do have a pretty strong stance against surveillance in general, and also take a lot of frustration with the idea that more surveillance is going to prevent more crime.
Sarah Crosley is a resident of Gravois Park with us on KMOX. How do you feel in your neighborhood? Do you feel like you are unsafe?
No, I've intentionally introduced myself to my neighbors. There's been some adjustments, just moving from an apartment to a house, and, becoming a first-time homeowner. There are some just different responsibilities that I'm getting adjusted to. I've immediately started attending the Gravois Park Neighborhood Association meetings, and that gives me a really strong sense and connectivity to my community. It's not always going to be, perfect, and that's just living in a neighborhood, but, I'm not, really chomping at the bit for, we gotta, improve our neighborhood, and it's gotta be, around safety. I think a lot of it is walkability. I think a lot of it is improving our infrastructure and our sidewalks and making the streets safer to drive and cross and all of that. Frankly, I think the most dangerous thing anybody in St. Louis does is get into a car, just the way we drive in this city. So
Well, I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of argument there. The neighbors that your friends that are in the neighborhood, do they talk to you and say that they feel unsafe?
No.
Okay.
How big is the neighborhood? How many homes? How many homeowners?
I honestly am not sure.
Rough guess.
If I had to guess, maybe 14,000 people.
Oh, okay.
14,000 households, something like that.
Any idea? Has the company given any rationale why they chose that particular neighborhood?
All I have heard, and this is from other interviews they've given, is the historic nature of the neighborhood and its unique history or unique position with crime rates. Notably in St. Louis, there are tons of historic neighborhoods, and notably St. Louis, among other sort of national trends, we're seeing a lot of decrease in crime right now. So it feels to me kind of arbitrary.
So there is supposed to be a legislation that will be presented tomorrow by Alderwoman Sonnier. We talked to her yesterday about this. What happens next? We've got that's occurring tomorrow. What sort of efforts will you and your neighbors be continuing?
Yeah, so the city's also sent a cease and desist letter that the company seems to already be violating. So some of it is maintaining a political pressure for the city to take further legal action against this company, continue to build support for this legislation. I think a really critical point that I would want other alders to consider is that it could be, the target right now could be Graveway Park, but it could be anybody else's neighborhood in the future. And I think part of it too is just, informing neighbors that this is happening too. There's a lot of us who are engaged in continuing to collect signatures, continuing to inform people, hey, this is happening, or this seems to be potentially happening. I'm hoping it's not actually happening, but this company is saying this. We want to talk to you about, how do you feel about it? What are your ideas around what could make, St. Louis a safer place, a better place? And so just really building a lot of community power through that conversation and through that type of education. So I would say there's kind of 3 lanes of activity, that conversation with people in Graveway Parks, informing them and educating and saying, what do you think? Gathering and building support for the legislation that will be introduced tomorrow, and making sure that the city, keeps a thumb on this company through whatever legal means are available to us.
Sarah, we appreciate your time. Keep us updated on what happens. We will be checking back in with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sarah Crosley, resident of Graveway Park, with us here on KMOX.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with this.
With drones?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I don't like it. I don't like the idea.
Surveillance cameras have solved untold numbers of crimes in this country. And without them, a whole lot of crime would go unknown. There was a case where a doorbell camera captured a guy trying to sweep up a young child off the street, and they found out who he was in a neighborhood in St. Louis. So as a matter of just fundamental privacy, if the thing is surveilling and capturing and a crime takes place and they've got it on tape, that's a valuable thing to possess. So I don't have a problem with these drones.
There are a couple of problems I have with it. Right. First and foremost, it's a guy who unilaterally decided that he's going to do this and doesn't live here and didn't check with the city and just said, well,
I'm not for that. I'm not for that.
He doesn't live here. Secondly, the neighbors don't want it. The people in the neighborhood don't want it. And maybe there are a handful who think, okay, yeah, we'll totally do it. But if they like it, I'm sure they will speak up and say, I like this idea. Sure. They haven't yet. It has been overwhelmingly the other way. People who own houses, own places in the neighborhood say, we don't want this here. We didn't ask for it. And the other part is, I think the idea of surveillance drones, to me, is a little more intrusive than fixed cameras on buildings. I don't, and maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way, but I don't like the idea of this thing hovering in the sky, where however high up off the ground it is, just constantly swirling around me wherever I am or in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Right.
I just don't know how comfortable I am with that.
Well, have you seen satellite images? I mean, the specificity and detail you can get from satellite images.
Well, yeah, but I will take a directly overhead shot down than something I know could, if I live on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th floor of a building, whatever, and I feel like, hey, I'm up high. Nobody can see into where I am inside my house. Well, now here's this drone flying 30 feet off the ground. If it wanted to, it could just peek in the windows. And there would be,
now that's creepy.
There would be
I'll grant you that's creepy.
There would be guardrails against it, allegedly, I guess. But who's to stop some?
Well, I don't like the fact that it's a private company that's just kind of come in without.
That's
being
the
invited.
absolute worst part of it.
But as a crime solving tool, I don't think it's a preventative measure either. I agree with her on that.
Yeah.
Over time, though, I do think surveillance cameras have had a deterrent effect on crime. I mean, people that know that everybody's got doorbell cameras. I think over time you're going to see less packages swiped from the front porch. But as a just principle, I don't have a problem with surveillance that's used by law enforcement to the prosecution of crime.
A couple of texters have come in, and one said, it's just my opinion, but I would love to have drones in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay. I just don't think
it wouldn't bother me.
And I live in a neighborhood that everybody says is super dangerous, and it's not. Not
Yeah.
to me. I've lived there 6 years, and I've had no personal
Nothing,
experience.
yeah.
Right. Another one says Gravois Park is the epicenter of crime on the south side. I don't know.
I don't
but
know that
if
either.
all I can say is if the people who live there don't feel unsafe, who are you to tell them they should?
Right. Yeah.
That's John Hancock. I'm Chris Ranji. This is KMOX.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has green-lighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at Tax Help USA to see if you qualify by dialing 800-210-1005. If you or your business owe at least $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Call Tax Help USA to get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-210-1005. 800-210-1005. 800-210-1005.
Don't miss out on limited time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. For a limited time, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, get an additional 20% off in-store clearance appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today because Lowe's knows deals. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 12/28/23 through 1/3/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's everything Cardinals baseball this weekend as the Cardinals Care Winter Warm-Up slides into Busch Stadium and Ballpark Village. Meet former and new Cardinal players, hear from team management, buy special souvenirs, and take in Q&A sessions. KMOX Sports will be live at Cardinals Nation Restaurant, Saturday and Sunday 10 till 2 and Monday 10 till 1. The Cardinals Care Winter Warm-Up happening this weekend. For more info, click KMOX.com/events.
Hi, this is Ken and Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals. Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. When it needs help, call the experts at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Their certified technicians repair all brands of doors and openers, and you can even schedule evening and weekend service. Just call 314-781-5200 and always look for the red ribbon. It's your assurance you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door, the most trusted garage door company in St. Louis since 1926. For same-day service, schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. 314-781-5200.
Let's ring in the new year by checking off an important to-do. Your old videotapes and photos are fading as each year passes. VCRs are becoming extinct, and the clock is ticking to save your family's most cherished memories. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box to help you preserve your captured moments by converting all your videotapes, photos, and even film reels into perfectly preserved digital files.
Legacy Box is the easiest resolution to do and can be done in minutes. Just fill your Legacy Box, send it in, and we'll send it back with your memories perfectly preserved.
Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box.
Let's kick off the new year right by rescuing your memories that haven't been watched or enjoyed in years.
Order your Legacy Box today.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off. legacybox.com/value.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. ramp.com/free.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The vote is in. STL Today has certified the result. Onderlaw has been voted 2023's best law firm in St. Louis.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
Hi, this is Kent Newbold for Newbold BMW. Do not trust your BMW to some quickie lube place. Bring it to our award-winning service department. That's Newbold BMW in O'Fallon, Illinois, or NewboldBMW.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Chris Ranji.
Wonderful bones, great eyes, and you dress really interesting.
On KMOX.
Text message to 314-436-7900. First time I have ever disagreed with John.
Hey!
I was actually hitting the call button as he was saying, count to 7, then call.
Well, it's all in the pace of the count.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dial.
Also, another one says, Chris, I think your guy doesn't know how to count. I've made it through every day this week. Talking about the Billy Joel and Sting tickets.
Yeah.
But I wasn't the right number. I even offered to talk to him if he would make me the winner. Talk sexy to him. Well, that's not how you win tickets.
Yeah, no.
Now, you might get into Tyler's good graces by talking sexy to him.
To Tyler, not me.
But he's not going to give you tickets just
My wife
because
doesn't
you
even
do
talk
it.
sexy to me anymore.
Did she ever?
Oh, yeah. Back in the day, we were quite the thing.
I love the honeymoon story where you puked.
Got food poisoning. That's an all-time great. I've got a bunch of those stories.
Hey, you're back with me next week on Wednesday?
Wednesday, I'll be back.
Right?
And then Amy comes back at some point eventually.
Who knows?
Yeah.
She may not make it, but she might have a skiing accident. You never know.
Well, I hope not.
I hope not either. I don't want that for her. Everything you missed on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, KMOX.com as well. Go back and listen to the show. We'll be back with you tomorrow, 10 o'clock.
Cheers.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
One of the things that surprises people after they retire is how much they still owe in taxes. The good news is Steve All of the All Financial Group, he's here to show you some strategies